We are now live on our UGASports YouTube channel. We're using some different software in the back here, so if it seems a little different at times, that's going to be why. Roddy Nabulsi, Jim Donnan, I'm Dane Young. Roddy, you are back with us. I know originally you had plans to be in Nashville, but we're glad to have you here for the UGASports Watch Along show.
Well, I really want to go to Nashville because I enjoy that trip, and it's like a home game for Georgia. Me in Nashville, they'll take over that stadium. It'll be 80-20 before it's all said and done. And looking at the photos from Anthony Dasher, our man up there, 3 minutes before kickoff, and there's hardly any Vandy fans in the stadium. It is an absolute. It's going to be a bloodbath today. But glad to be back here with you, Coach Donnan. We have been here regardless, but
we were going to sing that "Welcome Back, Cotter" song, but. We're basically Elvis oriented today, and one thing we have is two great sponsors, Athens Ford, who Roddy does a good job about talking about. I try to talk about them, but I don't have the knowledge of them that you do. But I do have great knowledge of what the people at Leon Farmers Group does for us. Just a really outstanding sponsor of our program and of UGA over the years. And I want to give a special shout out to Marilyn Farmer, who is Leon III's mother, who understands watching these now with us. And she was telling Leon that her husband, Leon, had a great affinity for Elvis too. I knew him well. I didn't know that we both liked Elvis that much. So awesome. We got a good situation here for you, Marilyn, because we give you good football, talk about your son's great company, and also if things get going good today for the Dogs, we might have a little Elvis here at the end. So appreciate you watching and appreciate all y'all have done for Georgia. And boy, I'm fired up about this team, Roddy, because I think you've had a chance to see them live and in person. We've been watching them on this watch along show every week, and I just feel like this team is continuing to grow, starting to mesh a little bit in the offensive line. We really haven't been tested now that you've seen Clemson have trouble with everybody with their O-line. So we probably won't be tested that much today, but I do like the fact that Kirby has kept the hammer down, practicing against each other, which is probably as good as you're going to see all year. And starting to see some of these young old linemen come around. Might see some more of guys like Condon, who played some last year, Willock, Truss, Jones, Mims today. And then in the secondary, we've been hurt a little bit by some passes, but that's going to happen. But I do feel like all the reps that Ringo gets just keeps him going even better. So just looking forward to today. Going against the Commodores. I heard they changed their name to the Possums. Can't play dead at home and get killed on the road. So that's what their name is now, the Possums. So hopefully we can get after them today.
This is a bad team, Coach. This is a bad matchup. I mean, to me, if the success in this game is, like you said, get those other guys some reps, get them blooded on the field. Just don't get hurt. Get ready for Arkansas next week. And that I don't want to sound like I'm dismissive of a SEC opponent, but this is a bad SEC opponent, Coach.
It really is. And, one of the things that always worries me when you play against a team that you're supposed to destroy, a lot of times you get out there and things don't go hunky-dory and you start pressing a little bit and then the other team plays better. But unless this team trades for some players and really gets some good calls by the refs, I just think this is going to be ugly. But it should be. We got a real talent disparity. Our guys, we can only take 70 today. When we played Clemson, there was a road game where it was a neutral site, so we took about 85. Today we got 70, and I'm glad all you guys are listening to us instead of Matt Stinchcomb because he'll talk the whole time. My old offensive lineman. I know that guy doing the play-by-play is trying to say, hey, Matt, let me call the game a little bit. But, he's a very smart guy and did a good job for us in the Hall of Fame. And I kid him about over-talking a little bit. But, he knows the game, really very smart. And but if you got a choice, come with us today. We'll give you a little bit more, maybe be a little more succinct about our analyzation here.
Matt and John are great guys. We love them to death. We could tease them because they'll take it and they'll give it right back to us.
Yeah.
But you're right. Thank everybody for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Please share this with your friends and family. Show them what we're doing here. Our numbers have been growing, but we want to get to 100,000, 1 million people watching the show with us as we do it. If you're watching the show and you feel like we're behind the action, just pause your TV for about 10 seconds, 15 seconds.
We'll help them out with that.
Yeah.
We'll call it out. It's different for everybody, depending on if you're watching on cable or satellite or streaming or whatever. We'll tell you what we see, and you can time it up with your system.
So do that. But again, I want a big shout out to our sponsors at Athens Ford. They've been sponsoring the show sponsoring the website for years now. They are fantastic friends of ours. They do a good job. I'm sure that Brian Clower and the folks over there are watching this game. After the game, if you're in Athens area, swing by there, do a test drive, check out that new Ford Bronco, check out any of their Ford F-150s, Ford Explorers that I drive. Check out any of those. And, of course, right now, I'm just going to sit here. The only reason I'm back is, Vanderbilt was crazy with the credentialing.
Hey, you're the boss. That's why you're back.
Well, it was good to be down on the field. I really enjoyed it, but I enjoy this more.
Well, we're glad you're back, and
but now I get to sit here and drink these Bud Light seltzer lemonades.
Hey, we got so many different kinds here. I don't even know how you can take all of them. I mean, fortunately for us,
they get through all of them for you, Coach.
Fortunately, we got plenty of them down here. So, one thing that's just really evident to me about our team is team speed. They showed Jordan Davis there, but not many teams have the speed on the perimeter that we do. Both Anderson and Smith run sub 4.6. Walker, Carter, Davis, all very good inside, and then the linebackers. But
here comes the kickoff.
Here we go. Just time it up.
Toe meets leather, and this game is underway. Vanderbilt going to return about the 2-yard line. Not as deep.
Look at Ladd McConkey down there.
Some of the kickoffs.
I don't know if they did that on purpose, but he's been banging it out of the end zone. But fortunately, we had a very good coverage, and they're going to start about their 18. I think we're going to see Vandy, to me, even though they're not a great passing team, I think they're going to just try to throw the ball deep, throw it quick, and hopefully hit a couple big ones or get some, pass interference penalties. I think that's what I'd do if I was undermanned like this.
So 14:57 on the clock. Vanderbilt up at the line of scrimmage. I'll tell you when they snap it, and then we'll do that for the first couple of plays and then frequently through the game. Commodores take the snap, and it's a handoff. Nothing doing. Half a yard loss, Coach.
Like to see Smith play the block and keep his leverage. Be interesting to see. They look like they're trying to go quick here on us, but they're huddling up, so maybe they're not. Seals is a solid quarterback. Hadn't had much protection. They lost their best running back, transfer from Temple. Hurt his foot last week, so let's see what kind of running game they can get. This is what you don't want if you're Vandy. Be in a position where second and long.
Shout out to everybody there in the comments section. We will be taking your questions. Just drop them into the comments. Shout out to Catfish.
And we're able to put them on the screen. That's a new feature that we have. So we'll get.
And for the 500th straight time, when Georgia shifts, the other team moves. The Guinness Book of Records for, you'd think guys that have got the library over there in the practice field like the Commodores would understand that they're going to shift and you don't move, but really works every time. It's hard to believe, but it's unreal.
I get it's the choreography, Coach. All the guys moving at the same time so well.
Yeah.
It's because like the ball snap.
Big.
You feel like
we got some pressure here. Good play on the ball there by Ringo. But it is a very good choreography there. It looks like the Rockettes, the way they swing their legs.
That's what I'm saying. The way they all move at once, it's not like, hit and miss.
That's not hard. That's not hard to do, though.
I'm just saying it feels like the ball's been snapped. So if you're the offensive lineman, you've been taught for years to go. When that whole offensive line moves, you're like, crap, did I miss the snap? And you jump. Is
that what y'all did at Conyers? We always went on the snap count. We didn't go on the defensive move. Come on, Roddy.
I'm just saying, with the ball, you feel like the ball's been snapped, and when all they move, you feel like you may have missed a snap count, and you jerk. Holy
15
crap.
and
Come
Jalen
on, Carter. Play
Jesus.
fair, will you, Carter?
That man had a family.
Hey, seriously, did he defeat the block and hit the gap there?
He ate that man's soul. Oh my God. That poor Cox. That poor offensive
I
guard.
think Cox right now is probably going to get a negative on that play.
He just might.
This is something
He
we've
was
been
thrown
talking
away.
about, Roddy, with our watch along people, how close we are to returning a punt. Our blocking's been good. Kieris is good on the catches, but they kick it out of bounds, and we're going to start off with a great field position. Going to be interesting to see how Coach Monken attacks this Commodore defense. You know, it's like Roddy going through a buffet line and trying to decide which one he's going to eat next. I mean, that's the choices here for calling the plays. You got to go against your own standards and not stop yourself. But this is not a very good defense we're going against. But they're going to probably take some chances. Clark Lee's a very good defensive coach. He was a defensive coordinator at Notre Dame when they played us a couple years ago, both times. So you know, he knows Georgia well. And we're starting out in a dual set stack with the wide receivers. We're going to some kind of screen here to Lad McConkey. Bad block on the perimeter, but McConkey shows you his running ability. Bad block by Mitchell out there, but, you know, threw a no-hitter, but
picked up 21 yards. The lad on his own.
Good release there by JT.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be an inside run here. No,
faked it.
Go to 19.
Yeah, just do that.
I had a interesting text from a guy on the West Coast this morning asking me, he said, is that kid from California playing any for y'all? And I said, which one of the three?
Exactly.
But he was mentioning Bowers. So sometimes news doesn't travel very fast to the West Coast, and I gave him a rundown on what was happening, and he was glad to hear it.
He's a top tight end in the SEC right now.
Maybe the country.
Number four in the nation.
There it is. Break it. Come on, you got to run through that tackle. That was a poor run. Poor run there. I'm going to say something when it's bad. That was not good by you got about what that play was blocked. We're starting out with our normal starting lineup with Erickson at right guard, McClendon, Van Pran, Schaefer, and Salyer. A little bit of shifting here. Probably put the tight end in motion. Quick pitch. I like it. Could be a score.
Well,
that's a good tackle in the open field.
Yeah.
Not a very good job on the perimeter there, but I like the call. I like third and short going on a quick count, Roddy, where you don't have to worry about all the guys jumping around and going offside. Great block by Salyer on the perimeter there. We just didn't get the edge there with Bowers.
So should Bowers have blocked his guys towards the outside to give?
He needs to get on his outside shoulder there.
Outside shoulder. Okay, so that guy saw that and had contained it. Gotcha.
Probably going to put Bowers in motion. Hey, we're letting Bowers run in the jet sweep, and he's going to score. Get in there, boy.
Did.
Give him a touchdown. He's from California. Hey, I'm going to send that memo. That kid just ran in running back for us.
You can pause if you want to text your buddy back and say, hey, yeah, he just scored on a jet sweep.
Very good call there. And I like the idea. You don't expect your tight end to run a jet sweep. Not fair, Monken. Not fair. Very good block by Fitzpatrick. And watch him accelerate here. Way to know where the end zone is. And
what an athlete. So the California quarterback handed off to the California tight end. I'm not sure if the California running back was in there to provide a block. I think that was Zamir. But
no, he wasn't. But
I just say that's a West Coast offense is pretty badass. Oh, wow. Great.
Well, I
love the pylon cam.
We threw one pass on that drive. I got actually two, but we just throw one or two. I can't. That won't
be the one to Lad McConkey. He picked up 21 yards.
Yeah, that won't count as a pass because he didn't flip it to him. He handed it to him.
Yeah.
But just a real total mismatch physically. But what I like is our own standards. What you're looking for in a game like this, I've been trying to rehearse some things just to kind of carry it here. If you'd want to eliminate the penalties, the mental errors, make them physically compete with you. As long as you do that, you know, you can live up to your standards. The other thing you do as a head coach is you challenge your team look, these kids have worked hard on the as a second and third unit. They deserve a chance to play. You go out and play hard so they can get in there and get more reps. And hopefully, like Roddy said, one of the few things he ever says, right, let's get through this game and not even get anybody hurt. But Roddy's usually pretty right.
No,
so.
I'm not. You're right. I want to hit up some of the questions here in the chat.
We already got questions?
Oh, yeah.
What are they finding wrong with this?
Well, let me handle the producing, Roddy, because I can throw these questions on the screen. As
that's right.
That's a service to our audience. This is about the stemming coach. So this is from John Barnett. This is on our YouTube page.
Where's John from?
John, tell us where you're from, and I'll give you a shout out for that too. It says, how do they move at the same time? Who makes that call? Is it N'Kobe Dean?
Yes, N'Kobe or the inside backer tells them because he can see where everybody is. Anybody up front really doesn't know what's happening because sometimes you call the stem as a defensive coordinator and they have a different look than what you want. So you just negated it and you don't call it out. Sometimes they come out in a different look. And the idea is to get an overload to one side or the other, so you present when you come up to the line. If you just pretend you're the quarterback and you're looking at the defensive front, it looks like the best place to run is away from where they're lined up. But then at the last second, they stem over there where you're going to run, and it really presents problems for you. So it's basically like you go into a parking lot attendant and you're trying to get his attention and you hold a $50 bill up and then you give him a $5. The whole point is you're trying to get them to think you're in one look, but then you at the last second you stem. But Brock Bowers, man, I tell you what, I don't know what else you need right now from getting a good start on your collegiate career. But, you kind of like the other three guys over there enjoying it with him. I mean, there's Godey, a good kid, plays on the baseball team. Fitzpatrick, kind of unsung hero too. And let's see if he knocks this one out of the end zone.
Not quite out of it.
That's good enough. That's good enough. Good standard by the dog starting out here. Probably going to see some kind of screen or deep throw here on first down. If I'm Vanderbilt, this game will get out of hand pretty quick if you don't move the ball some. But Jordan Davis coming out there for the second series in a row. He only played 24 snaps last week, Roddy.
Was that it?
Fortunately,
it felt like he was everywhere because he's
fortunately, the reason I know that is our man Trent Smallwood has a deal on your site every week where he tells the number of snaps each guy's play, and that's what I look at. So all the people can look at UGA Sports and figure out how many times these guys play. Here you go.
Tramel Walther got a lot of snaps last week. Oh, batted ball.
That's one thing you like with our team that we've had more of this year. We saw several of them against Clemson, particularly early in the game. But you like the fact if a guy throws a deep pass, I'm a quick pass, you're not going to probably get to him. So get your hands up and try to. The only thing bad about that, a lot of times guys will go for you below the belt in the wrong area that makes most men worry. So you got to be careful about protecting yourself.
I did.
They're trying to run the option here. Good backside pursuit.
Channing Tindall.
N'Kobe Dean, Devontae Wyatt.
The thing that was tough there was at the point of attack was very good, but they didn't take care of the backside. Very good job by our backside pursuit.
We'll help you time this up to your TV where your second screen experience. 10:51 in the first quarter, 10:49, 10:48. That's the game clock as we see it. 10:46, 10:45.
I can see him running a draw here to try to be safe.
3rd and 6.
We got Walker lined up on the center.
He came through that B gap. Oh, quarterback pressure.
Double coverage there. Great job by bracket coverage on Scene and Keely Ringo.
Roddy, question from Chris Moore. He asked, was that Dominic Blaylock number 8 on the kickoff team?
No.
Yes.
Dominique didn't make the trip.
Multiple number 8s, Chris. Dominic's still recovering from his ACL.
That was MJ Sherman.
Good read by that guy trying to figure it out. There's another thing that really gets out, and we can see Kirby probably not going to like that. Kirby going with the it must be a little cool up there. I don't like those rugby kicks. I never have liked them. I mean, you just
because you didn't do it.
Well, the rugby kick that you just don't know where the ball's going to be. The guy's running and kicking the ball sideways, and you're trying to protect. We got caught on that against Clemson. Milton got hit with the ball and really kept us from putting the game away. So it's going to be a jump ball today. See who's the leading offensive guy because we got so many weapons. I don't know how they're going to keep them all happy, but the winner gets to go over to Opryland.
James Cook in the backfield.
He could be gone. Great tackle in the open field by that corner.
You got to break that one, James.
Georgia leads 7-0. 10 minutes left in the first quarter. It's 2nd and 9 for the Dogs. James Cook trots off.
Brock Bowers is your leading rusher. 1 attempt for 12 yards and a touchdown.
He's the leading offensive playmaker this season to this point.
I love that the tight end right now has the most yardage. It won't last, but it's
they're going to try to pressure us here. Really good run by Karras there.
Dude, do you get paid a dividend every time somebody runs that tunnel screen?
Yeah, I got the master on it. People didn't like it when I ran it though.
Shit, we loved it. It was so effective.
What are these guys giving us the barbecue keys for victory and we're going to miss the damn play? See that? We missed the play. You giving us those keys.
Don't run your –
See, I can even see that.
Don't run your promos in the middle of a hurry-up offense.
Tell us what happened, Matt. Threw the ball short yardage here. Way to go. Boy, I tell you, it's good to have him back. We've been missing him. We've been keeping him under wraps because he had but he had knee surgery this summer, and just really good to have him back. Can you imagine we get Washington back and Pickens back and Tyke Smith? And are we liking these plays on the perimeter here?
Oh, my
I tell you, Mitchell, you're going to have to get on the sideline if you keep missing these blocks. That's something we do every day for 5 minutes. If you go watch our team, we start practice that because Kirby wants the secondary to practice getting off blocks just like that guy did. That guy might have been at our practice this week, the way he got off the block, that guy from the Commodore.
Catfish says it's nice to see Kyrus Jackson getting some action.
Good job, Catfish.
Look at that lineup. Oh, my goodness.
If you get in the damn game, Rob, you got to catch the ball, son. That's just a perfect pass. That is a perfect pass. It's what we call a speed out. You got to get your head around before you get your eyes around. I mean, your head and your eyes together, and he really wasn't ready for it. He's a good athlete, and he's really working hard. But, boy, you get a chance like that, you got to make the play.
And that's a guy who has not gotten into the game a whole lot, but he gets in because he's a great blocker, or at least better. And they can't catch.
They're really playing off us here.
Oh, he's going to have all day.
Why don't you throw it to the man?
Again,
yeah, that number 9, that kid from the West Coast is trying to play for us. He can't really crack the lineup.
He can't really make the two deep.
This is a Western Union sent by Jim Donnan to the Fox guy on the West Coast. Brock Bowers.
Brock.
No, it works.
Do you see the way he just snatched that ball?
He did.
All right.
He ran over that safety.
Just keep the standards going here.
Indy Clip says this is unfair.
It really is. I mean, but you got to execute, though. There was a good example that we dropped the ball. That's what they got to hope for because the guy working on trying to be the National Player of the Week.
I was asked when I did radio in Atlanta on Friday, they said, hey, 2 weeks ago you told us Stetson Bennett was going to start. Then last week we asked you for a playmaker who might step up, and you said A.D. Mitchell. And I'm like, yeah, back-to-back players of the week in the SEC. They said, okay, who's it going to be this week? I'm like, all of them. It's going to be all of them because it's just –
yeah,
I should have said Brock Bowers. I should have gone the safe one, but I agree with you. This is going to be a merry-go-round of Georgia scoring.
The only thing we got to like Churchill said, the only thing we got to fear is fear itself. The only thing we got to fear is just our own standards. Don't get greedy. It's just a physical mismatch right now. Yeah. And I don't feel sorry for them. They didn't play us last year.
I knew that was coming.
Really chapped my ass that they didn't come down here and play. I mean, we played Mississippi State. Mississippi State had less than 50 players. Yeah. They still played. It's part of the, I wanted to see that girl kick, at least in warm-up, but she wouldn't have kicked during the game because they wouldn't have had a touchdown. But she got a lot of press for that.
Yeah, she did. There were some serious morale issues.
Was it moral or morale?
Morale. Somebody reads the comments. But so the morale issues at Vanderbilt last year, they lost a lot of players. They did not want to play Georgia last year. I get it. They did have some COVID issues, but according to our great friends up at Vandy Sports, they could have played and they didn't. They chose not to. So
yeah, well, that's their prerogative, and I'm sure Mason didn't want to play either, but. He's got to assume some of this blame too. I mean, he's a coach there for 8 years, and the recruiting just continued to deteriorate, and just not a lot of hope there. For the way they were playing. I mean, this team started out the season losing to East Tennessee State. Then they had a good win over Colorado State, comeback win on the West Coast, and then last week played Stanford, but. We'll see how we continue to roll here.
Did they have a play where the tight end gets to throw it because, Brock Bowers has run for a touchdown. He's caught a touchdown. I'd say go for the trifecta. Let him throw one. Get a little pitch to him, and he holds up and throws it.
I got a guy from Rome. I'm not talking about Rome, Georgia. I'm talking about Rome, Italy, texting me, asking me about how about that start. But he's also saying that Justin Robinson needs to start picking it up.
If it's obvious in Rome, it's obvious here.
Justin's a good player. I mean, heck, everybody drops one. Hey, good gosh.
Oh, my goodness.
Come on, get it in there for another one. That kid has already got one touchdown this year, doesn't he?
Wow. That's nuts. That's Dejon Edwards.
Yeah. I thought it was the defense at there. Hey, way to go, Ed.
That's Georgia's number 5 running back.
Hey, watch out on the sideline for all these attaboys. Somebody's going to get hurt. Hey, you just don't want to demean this team, but seriously, I would let the ball go in the end zone. Don't try to bring it out, man.
Oh, it just got knocked.
I mean, it's not demeaning when the football is bouncing around. You're going to grab it. I mean.
I'm talking about just the physical mismatch.
So that was Jalen Johnson, I think, that knocked the ball free.
Can you take knees in the first half? I'm just asking for
these coaches are. I mean, these backs on the sideline are trying to get Del McGee's attention. Can I go in now because I got a chance to score?
I just stole the ball away.
Well, it's going to be. Come on now, you're going to put somebody in motion.
Georgia went on empty on them, forced the timeout.
Two tailbacks, empty. That's nuts.
Jay Mosky says Brock Bowers is another Gronk.
Bronk?
He's faster than Gronk.
We can call him Bronk Bowers?
You can call him what you want to. I'll say yes,
I call him sir.
Yeah. Damn it. Same joke.
I don't know what we were doing
too much time together.
We do.
Coach, there was a question up here, and it was about a wide receiver drop. I'm scrolling back up to it. This was before the Brock touchdown.
That was Jalen Johnson that forced the fumble. Okay. Glad they put him on scholarship.
Yeah, Hamwich asked, Coach, that's the second easy drop for Justin Robinson. What do you do to help receivers that have drop issues?
Well, I mean, obviously he doesn't have issues or he wouldn't be playing. He's definitely, I see some of these guys in the Ryder Cup missing putts. You just got to fundamentally look the ball in. That time right there, his head wasn't around. Like, his head, your head's got to come around before the rest of you've got to get your eyes on the ball and know where the ball's being thrown. This is going to be an inside zone. He's laying in the end zone, ref.
How do you?
Justin Schaefer called it. They're going to say
don't go quick here. Just take your time and don't get a penalty.
Georgia's trying to go up 21-0 halfway through the first quarter, 7:30, 7:29.
He ran off Schaefer's hip, so Schaefer's like, yeah, I got him. I got you.
Look at Bowers push that guy.
Yeah.
Don't hurt Bowers' hands, please.
Oh, I don't know. That looks like a TD to me.
It is. It's get a replay here, Stench. You're a Georgia alum. Ask for it. There you go.
Yeah, we're going to run behind Big Jamari and Schaefer again.
I would have given the ball to Jalen Carter. Yeah. He earned it earlier this game.
Shake their hands.
Yeah. Hey, help them all.
Frank DiCarlo says that the easiest bet all season long was Georgia's first quarter -7.5 in this game.
Is that what it was?
That's what Frank says, and if that's the case, you made some money, Frank.
First half's 22, so I think they got a chance if they'll go for 2 here. No, they're going to kick it.
Poor job by the coaches not to know that line and to go for it first quarter.
I want to give a shout out to John H. Watson on Twitter. He says, "This is why I pay big bucks to Roddy DeBolsey and Anthony Dasher. Every preseason report this summer raved about Brock Bowers." 27 cents a day, folks. UGAsports.com. And actually, right now, it's 50% off. So go to the front page, 50% off. And
Will Muschamp talking to the GM about some of our players.
Yeah, so Adam Anderson, he's already got 2 sacks. He says he wants 20. He might be on pace for it. No.
What about did somebody tell you about Brock Bowers this spring? Somebody that's right in this house here. That room.
Yeah, Dane told me all about it.
I've been talking about him. Last year it was Jalen Carter. I've been doing this for years.
Yeah.
Roddy.
No, it was true. If you listen to the spring, when we talked about spring football, if you listen to UGA Sports live show on Tuesdays, Coach Donnan was we're asking about the quarterback situation, the offensive line, and all he wanted to talk about was this tight end from California. And I'm like, we got Darnell Washington coming back. Why are you talking about a true freshman?
Yeah.
But Coach knows talent when he sees it, and he saw Brock Bowers. And
that guy makes a good move. Very fair call.
21-0 in 8 minutes sounds like a good start. Maybe I'm overreading it a little bit.
The thing, you got to give a lot of credit to our coaches and staff having your team ready. I've played against teams you're supposed to wear out, and a lot of times it just doesn't happen like that. And the rest of this game, it might not be this easy. I mean, we're going to start playing some other guys, but they're already promoting other games right now. I mean, they already lost to Penn State. Come on. So you needed to help out that coach from Auburn a little bit, Roddy, on his TV.
I'm terrible at TV.
Oh, see if you can go all the way again, Chris.
All right, so I'm going to struggle with time and possession in this game because Vandy can't keep it and Georgia can't keep the offense out there because they score too quickly.
So watch this right here. We're probably going to run a reverse or something, but 2 turnovers. It's hard enough. Pretty good throw, really. We didn't have but 4 guys on him. I think take that first team defense out right now. I don't want anybody else out there.
Second interception for Chris.
Got to get ready for Arkansas. Chris, second interception on the season, man.
He had the pick 6 against Clemson.
So Georgia has 2 turnovers. Vandy has 5 total yards.
This is going to be a pass. Nope.
Oh, my. Look at that run. James bloody Cook.
He got tired of the people talking about him not
be able to go between the tackles.
Coach, what's the earliest in a game you ever put in backups? I don't know. We're not in that range yet, but I'm just curious.
VMI 19. I'll tell you real quick when it was. He got the pick. Catch it, McConkey.
Look at Ladd.
Hey, very good read.
He went up.
I give a really good read to my boy JT. They got a safety blitz off the edge. We had a run call, and he just picked it up and threw it. The quickest I ever turned the game around was, let's watch it. See, he saw it. It was a run. And then that's why you watch ours. You keep up with stuff like that. But anybody can see that except Roddy. But it was a good job by McConkey going up and getting it. See, we're
took the blow too.
All right, let's rest him some.
Yeah.
But we played VMI in 1990. Let's see, 93, and we were ahead 28-0 with 11 minutes to go in the first quarter. I've never seen anything like it. We had 2 turnovers. We turned a kickoff for a touchdown. That was when I was at Marshall. 28-0 after 11 minutes. So
Jesus.
Georgia not doing real good here.
Less than 9 minutes into the game.
Let me just ask you this, Roddy. You do that report, which I don't ever see. What was your projection on this? What did you talk about?
I basically said that the offensive line will start out with the same 5 guys. Then they'll start subbing in. Maybe we'll see Owen Condon, Devin Willock. I didn't think Xavier Truss, but you mentioned him. Come in at come in at guard, move some guys around, see Jones and Mims get some work. Basically, a lot of guys getting in the game. But this was probably the worst SEC conference game mismatch by terms of talent that I've seen in 28 years of covering Georgia football.
Hey, you're right.
28-0 in 9 minutes.
I will say that
they don't have a first down. They have 5 yards, no first down. Georgia has more turnovers than they have first downs.
JT Daniels took a decent hit on that play. So
yeah,
there may be time to let him hang out in Nashville.
I'd put the second team in from now on. They don't need it. They get all the work. First team gets all that work all week. We got to get ready for the Hogs.
But in the second team in the first quarter. That's just a clubbing. Anyway,
Chris Moore asked, Coach, is this the worst Vanderbilt team that you've ever seen?
No question.
Yeah.
Not even in the area code.
I do want to give a shout out to our friends at Leon Farmer, the Bud Light Seltzers. I'm drinking the lemonade. So last year we didn't have the lemonade in the teas. And this lemonade, I'm drinking the strawberry. This is fantastic, folks. Try it out. You're going to love these lemonades. They've got regular lemonade. They've got the peach lemonade. They've got black cherry lemonade. And then this is the strawberry. It's great. 5% alcohol, 100 calories per 12 ounces. If you're doing keto or stuff like that, there's only 2 grams of carbs in them, less than 1 gram of sugar. I started drinking these, got away from some beer, helped me lose a little bit of weight. I'm telling you, they are fantastic. They also have their regular seltzers, like in the variety pack, you can get mango, strawberry, lemon, lime, or black cherry. Really simple. It's sparkling water, real cane sugar, and natural fruit flavors. They don't have an aftertaste. They're gluten-free for people that need that. But these are perfect for a game day like this, when you're just sitting back enjoying watching Georgia kick somebody's teeth in, You don't need hard drinking. This isn't a Georgia-Auburn game or a Georgia-Florida game. You don't need any brown liquor. This will take care of you and you'll enjoy it. Then you can go out and do stuff after this game. So 28-0 right off the bat. That's brutal.
Hey, next week we got the Hogs coming in here on Saturday at 12 too, don't we?
Yep. I'll be sitting here with you making fun of them too. Gotta love the stuff that ESPN did on Sam Pittman earlier today. They had a nice little kind of behind the scenes on him. Yeah. I can root for him every week except next week.
Yeah, they're going to take a reality pill today, I think.
Yeah.
I hope not. I hope they can win, but
Texas A&M is
their players don't match up with A&M. The only thing you got going is A&M makes it harder than they have to. I mean, they really put a lot of pressure on their quarterback, and Kirby going with the pullover and he's got to get something to worry about.
Georgia has 137 yards. As we said, Vandy has 5. 100 of those are through the air, but still 4 touchdowns. So that's pretty efficient. When you start out on the 49.
Going with a new quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
Probably going to run some quarterback keeps here. Made a few substitutions on the D-line. Got Channing Tindall in there and with N'Kobe Dean. Couple different 22s in there now, a defensive back.
Jamel Walters in there, number 90, the guys mentioned earlier, who got a lot of snaps last week, looked good. Javon Bullard is the number 22. It's one of the first guys they've been bringing in.
Could be quarterback draw. What a break on the ball there.
And not get a PI off of it.
That guy came out of the huddle looking at that kid.
He did.
Lewis Sean's just such a solid player. Really wasn't that highly recruited. Georgia had a hard time deciding whether they're going to take him or not, and ended up good move getting him.
That's quite the. He's talking about the guys maturing. He is really, really matured.
We got in our Jaguar package. That's one of the fastest animals out there. So you know why they call it Jaguar.
19 and
I don't know if it's Jaguar or not. That's my call on it.
Well, I'm just saying when you see Adam Anderson and Nolan Smith both coming in,
good protection.
That was great protection. Look at Wyatt running down.
I tell you, really good play by Smith too, redirecting, and Wyatt's just having a good year. Missed the game for undisclosed reasons, but let me just tell you this: senior leadership's there. Guys like him come back for that super senior year, and I'd go on and fake the punt here. Go on and fake it.
Look, give me any kid out of Decatur, Towers High School. That is a rough place to grow up. That's a rough place to play. You know he's damn tough.
Georgia will take over with 5:23 left in the first. Dogs have a 28-0 lead. And Rowdy, I hope I still have a job after the caption I gave to that Lad McConkey touchdown on Twitter. McConkey tonk in Nashville.
Oh, no.
I'm going strong, y'all.
What do you call it?
Instead of honky tonk, McConkey tonk.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, see, there you go. Coach says it's good. I keep my job.
No, that's terrible.
Kirby not even listening to the plays here.
That's horrible.
Georgia takes over, 5:23.
Hey, look, they're on their side of the field for a change. All day.
And we lost our camera a bit.
What a snatch there by A.D. Mitchell.
Very good protection.
Yeah, he had a long time to throw.
We got big boy Broderick Jones at left tackle. Come on, man, you trying to jump in on me here. Let me say what I'm talking about. I know who they are. Just kidding.
The football, young man.
That was what we call an RPO, a run pass option. You can either throw it or run it. And he liked to, I guarantee you, if JT's got the choice, he's going to throw it. He makes those backs mad. He never gives it to them. See the back look like he thinks he's getting the ball and he doesn't. The line's downfield, really. I mean, could have been a penalty there. You see that, Roddy?
Yeah, I did. I obviously knew that before you mentioned it.
Goodness gracious. You just can't get overwhelmed with what we're doing. We're just going against a badly outmanned team. But you got to execute. And right now, except for that one fumble and a drop pass, I mean, we're operating at a pretty high function. Really impressed.
That's nuts.
Georgia has 4 touchdowns on 170 yards.
Well, we're getting the play from the sideline, and he checked to a different protection here.
James Cook up the middle.
I like the fact he letting Salyer jump in there a little bit at a different position.
Yeah.
That's even Roddy talked about putting Jones in. It must be pretty evident.
I thought it was going to be later in the game. I didn't expect the first quarter, but when you're
we got to see 2 Todds up there, Monken and Hartley. One of them got a red bill. So we got Salyer playing right guard right now and McClendon at right tackle. Reverse.
McConkey.
Not fair.
He's got all day.
He got some quickness. But we could have run that reverse to Mims.
He's quicker than the average offensive lineman, but still.
I remember people were freaking out about McConkey because they're like, he's little.
He's a good, solid player.
Yeah.
But
nice block there by Brock Bowers.
We got on the guys in Athens today watching this game. Darnell Washington, Dominic Blaylock, and Arian Smith. All three of those guys are first-team guys. You know what I'm saying? The two receivers are ahead of these guys that are catching the passes.
That's
so good for these guys to get in there and do their job. You saw A.D. Mitchell come out there and make a catch.
Hell of a catch.
So I don't think they should get mad when we put Bennett in the game. Now, I mean, he should go back.
Oh, they will because
put Jackson Muschamp in at this point.
He didn't make the trip.
Hey, Brock,
send him up there anyway.
Brock Vandegrift's up there.
Carson Beck. Bowers drinking some of that Cali stuff.
Well, he's from Napa, Coach, so there's probably you think maybe that's a rosé or a white.
You mentioned the fact that he was doing a good job blocking, and we are. Come on, Kirby, what are you going to find wrong with this?
There's something.
He's going to get mad about something. I told him, I said, look at him.
What are you doing?
Hey, we're just trying to figure out who we're going to put in next.
Hey, we have a question and a super chat from Christian. Thank you so much, Christian.
Where's Christian from? Is he from Rome?
Christian, you tell me where you're from, and we will we'll pass that along to Coach Donnan as well. His question: Georgia has a tough stretch of games coming up. How important is the depth on this team, and are there any positions that may lack depth?
Well, we don't have the depth in the secondary at this point. We lost Kimber to a labrum issue, just like we had Keely Smith last year. So he had shoulder surgery this week. Every time I think of shoulder surgery, I think about Lou Holtz. When I was on the set with him at ESPN, he said one time he had shoulder surgery on his elbow. I said, "Come on, Lou," and but this kid had it on his shoulder. That was what happened. But they got to do some quarterback runs or something.
35 points in 9 minutes. Well, technically less. It's going to be 12 minutes.
A couple yards for Vandy. Christian, to kind of answer a bit, if you're looking for a lack of depth, it's probably in the secondary. And with that, there's a lot of youth at that position. It was already going to be weak anyway there. And Kirby Smart said wide receiver, they're not as deep there as they want to be.
It's going to be, though, when these receivers come back. But secondary-wise, we've got two corners, Nyland Green and Lassiter, who are going to be good players. We need some help at safety. Oh, my goodness. Good play by this kid. That's why they put him in there. That's one thing that worries me about any team you play is running quarterback. Fire him up, Coach. Let's see what the penalty was.
Chris Kaysen says, best Georgia team in my lifetime. I don't know how old you are, Chris. I can't verify that. But it's very likely.
I don't know about that. We haven't played anybody yet. We'll find out next week. That's what you got to watch out for. But a running quarterback and a team that can protect is going to give us trouble.
Yep.
Because our secondary has trouble with the ball in the air. I mean, that's just – but we're going to get better at it. But we just hadn't been tested much. I don't know what the penalty was there. Somebody must have been downfield doing something.
Coach Christian told me where he lives. It's a place that's very special to one of your favorite people. Memphis.
Is that right? Is he living near Elvis's place?
Might be.
That's good. I really like you, Christian, even more, calling in like that. Anybody that's a friend of Elvis, friend of mine.
Thanks for the super chat. We appreciate that.
That's a good call by the defense. We had safety blitz, by the offense.
And Christopher Smith with a good coverage and form tackle on that play.
This is what you got to do against Georgia. Let the quarterback run, throw the ball quick, and, get a little drive going here. Keep your defense off the field.
Hey, Coach, is Brock Bowers okay? He hasn't had a TD in like 5 minutes.
Yeah, he's not going to play a lot today.
This is
Thanks, Ludacris on Twitter. That
this
was
is going to be known as the McConkey game. Okay, from now on.
Latavius just back there ready to eat him. Holy crap! He might have killed that young man.
Settle down, Kirby. I worry about my boy Kirby over there. He was going to intercept that. I think he had 15 in his career. That would have been 16. Look at him. He was ready for it. Nice job. Let's see what happens here with the protection for the Commodores. They didn't like that one, so they didn't call timeout. I would go for it on 4th down here, too. I wouldn't mess around. Here's what happens. You get off to such a great start, and then the standards from now on are going to be based on this first quarter, and there's no way we can keep playing like this.
No, I mean,
unless
2 turnovers.
Penalties, but I mean, and it'll just give somebody some things to ask Kirby when they do the Zoom meeting after the game. I saw where Vanderbilt had a rule that everybody had to be out of the press box after 90 minutes after the game.
Yeah.
That's get out of there, man.
The Vandy has handled this whole thing ridiculously.
But I mean, these game stories would be written in like 10 minutes. So.
We could have written this one before the game started.
Yeah, we did. But we didn't at our site. I'm saying our predictions said this is exactly.
It's a damn high school university. It's ridiculous.
Hockey play.
Nice.
That was nice.
That was really well done there.
Well conceived. Give Vanderbilt some credit there. They faked a quick pitch and let the kid keep it. And we overreacted. Yep. Look at Nakobe. He was going for the pitch.
Adam Anderson's ankles were broken on that.
That's what happens when you go against a good team that's well coached. Make them play the percentages, and we're going to react to the lineman pulling everything out like a well-coached team, and they kept the ball on the fake. Nice job by the Commodores or the Possums. Which are they?
They're showing a little side of life there.
Can't play dead at home and get killed on the road.
So Ladd McConkey has 2 touchdowns. Brock Bowers has 2 touchdowns. That's a redshirt freshman and a freshman. Like you're talking about the other guys are not even on the that didn't make the trip. That's pretty fantastic. 21 seconds left.
Shit. Oof. Coach, you want me to run the draw into that?
16 seconds, 15 seconds, 14, 13.
That boy Smitty.
Boy, I loved how many people were freaking out. Nolan Smith is a bust.
Who said that?
So many people, Coach, because he was ranked number 2 in the nation, and people lost their mind that he wasn't.
Call him out by name. I need home addresses.
No. Was that at a drug rehab place?
It was the fear that he wasn't going to live up to his billing. I'm like, hey, there's a guy named Aziz Ojulari who's on.
Just remember this on Tuesday when we did the show. We talked about, hey, the glass is half full. Let's quit griping so much.
Let me get some first quarter stats, and then Roddy, I know you want to tell the folks about Athens Ford and what they have going on. So let me get a couple of these stats out there. Total yards: Georgia leads Vanderbilt 200-34, and again the score is 35-0 after the first quarter. Passing yards: Georgia has 121. Vanderbilt has 2, which is the same amount of rushing yards that Clemson had.
That is 72 inches. We need to.
They didn't measure. I mean, it could have been a little bit less, and they didn't bring out the chains for that. Rushing yards: Georgia 79, Vanderbilt with 32. Georgia does have 1 penalty for 15 yards. 9 first downs for the Dogs. 3 of 3 on third down. Kirby Smart will be very pleased with that. Only 20 total plays, 35 points on 20 plays. Yeah.
That's just domination. But now, can they keep it up the whole time?
I mean, it's going to be a different unit in here soon. JT Daniels, 9 of 10 for 121 yards and 2 touchdowns. Just a recap of where the 5 touchdowns came from in that half. You had Ladd McConkey's rush. You had Brock Bowers rush, Zamir White's rush. McConkey caught one and Bowers caught one. So that first quarter was a lot of McConkey and a lot of Bowers.
Again, the fact that you got a freshman and a redshirt freshman doing all that, 4 touchdowns between the two of them. You got to like your future there. That's absolutely insane.
Tom, once the second quarter starts, I'll get you synced back up again and let you know where we're at.
Hey, if we get a chance, swing by our friends out at Athens Ford. We talk about the great deals they have on Ford F-150s, Ford Explorers. The Broncos actually have a Bronco you can go out there and check out. They always have some amazing vehicles out there, but they also have the best selection of certified pre-owned vehicles. The Ford certified pre-owned vehicle system is fantastic. You get a car with like a 172-point inspection. That's kind of the I bought a Ford Explorer that way. Felt brand new, but I didn't have to pay brand new prices for it. I got a great deal on it because it was pre-owned. Somebody else took the hit on the depreciation. I get a brand new vehicle, or it feels like it. Everyone that got in my car was like, "This is brand new." I'm like, "No, it's actually somebody owned it for a year." You just can't beat it. They have the best selection in the state, and of course, all those come with a lifetime powertrain warranty. If you forget or you don't remember anything about when we talk about Athens Ford, just remember lifetime powertrain warranty. When you buy a vehicle, it should last you. It should be a great investment. You shouldn't have to throw money into it more and more and more. You don't have to worry about that with our friends at Athens Ford. And if for some reason you need standard maintenance, go out there, get your maintenance done. Or if you want to do some trim packages or upgrades to it, you want some stuff you can add to it. They have the best service facility you'll ever see. I mean, the waiting room out there is fantastic. It's immaculate. It's clean. It has super fast Wi-Fi, snacks, Cokes, all sorts of great stuff. It's a great place to actually get your work done, so you don't feel like, I got to go drop my car off, get the oil change. It's going to take me forever. I'll be out of touch. You'll be locked in. You'll be fed. You'll have great drinks. You'll have coffee, whatever you like. They'll take care of you. It's an immaculate place.
Third down.
3rd and 12 for the Commodores, rolling out, being chased by Trayvon Walker.
Good job, Brainy.
And diving under Latavius Murray doesn't get killed.
14.
Get ready now. They're going to go fast there and try to go for it.
14:45.
I will say this. I had a chance to ride with Roddy down to South Georgia. We made a couple speeches, and I rode in this Ford. And except for listening to Roddy talk, it was a great trip. I mean, it was smooth, man. I was a co-pilot over there. I went to sleep a few times, but, boy, that's a good riding truck you got there.
49-yard kick attempt for Vanderbilt.
They scored.
No,
they didn't.
No, they didn't.
They had a chance, and it hooked. Nice try, buddy.
Speaking of kickers.
Uh-oh, Kirby. What's wrong?
Lloyd Dog says, hey, Roddy, check out Jonah Allen, place kicker for Pierce County. He made a 52-yard field goal last night. And
really?
Kickoffs are in the end zone each time, class of 2023.
We'll have to do that. We'll tell Kirby about him.
Hey, where's our boy John DuPont down there talking about the Pierce County Bears?
That's Stetson's high school, right?
Is he from there?
Stetson Bennett.
Oh, wow.
I thought that's where he's from.
I thought he was. All right, here we go. We got the mailman in.
Speaking of, good
Start
segue.
your complaints.
Please hit your first pass or your first run.
So they're just gonna run.
Here's the thing about it right now. You got your best quarterback. He's had a good quarter. Let's hold him out, right?
Yeah.
I mean, what's the advantage? Let's play this kid and play Beck some too. Milton's got to get in there eventually, but we still got the first team line in there though, except for
they're getting
Salyer.
Giving Broderick Jones some work. I love it.
Help you sync this up to your TVs. 13:39 is what we see on the game clock here. 13:37, 13:36, 13:34, 13:33. Georgia with the football.
Probably going to be a pass.
Let's see, James Cook.
Look at the timing there. I mean, that's an exquisite move there by AD. Seeing the guy off of him, getting his head around, getting his shoulders down, threatening deep, and Bennett just smoothed it in there.
What was there between that play and Justin Robinson's earlier?
I think Justin just was more of an speed out. That was a hitch.
Okay.
So it's easier to catch when you're looking to the inside than you are the outside. But they're going to give him another chance. Stints is trying to tell Broderick Jones how to play because that's where he played. Just kidding. There's an RPO going to Burton. I'm glad we still got him on the trip here. Again, just for everybody, most of the people that watch this show for 3 years know what an RPO is. But just in case you don't know, you've got the run call. If they got some kind of pressure and you can't block it, you've got a tag with the outside receiver, some kind of route that you can get rid of the ball quick without any pass protection. And that's what you saw there from the mailman.
So it's run first, and then you change it. You have an option on the back end. If they don't like that.
Unless JT's in, he's going to pass it every time. More times than not. He might be going over the top here, sports fans.
All the time.
I don't like that one.
He got knocked to the ground.
There's another guy that's walk on 23.
Yeah.
Good player, though. He plays hard. He does a good job on the scout team.
Well, I mean, he forced that fumble. Jalen Johnson did on the kickoff.
He might be on scholarship now.
He is on scholarship now, but he started out as a walk-on.
He deserves it.
Yeah.
Michael Burton with a question. Coach Donnan, at what point do you start rotating linemen on offense?
We've already started a little bit. I think second half you'll see everybody. I'd get those guys out of there now, but they're trying to give Stetson a little more protection here. Boy, that's a good job by McClendon.
Yeah, McClendon just owning that kid.
Another kicker to watch out for, David Tug Vaughn. This is from William Pack. He says, David Tug Vaughn from Coffee County made a 55-yarder a few weeks ago. He's committed to Army, class of 2022.
Hey, if he's good enough for Army, I'll take him.
We're just going to keep throwing it looks like.
Yeah.
That's the offense.
Oh, wow.
That's not as good of blocking as you need on
well, they read the play there, too. Good job by them. Sets up us to put a draw on them. If we run a draw play right now, he might hit his head on the goalpost.
Ray, I love you because Georgia is winning by 35, and there's a complaint that Georgia's getting bad spots from the referees. I mean, come on.
Yeah, the refs are trying to give them a chance.
The refs.
They're trying to give them a chance.
Yeah, I love it.
Excellent work by you, Ray.
Well done, sir.
That is SEC football at its finest.
Blame it on the refs.
4-man rush, 5-man protection.
Good protection. God almighty. There's a case of trying to run with it before you catch it.
Yep.
That's okay. They drop them on Sundays.
Are you so mad? But you're right. He knew he was short, so he knew he had to get 4 extra yards.
Oh, he's just trying to run with it before he caught it. But great job of stepping up in the pocket here. I like to see him run a draw play and set up a field goal just to let Pod hit one. Wouldn't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
We're going empty here.
3rd and 14 for the Dogs, 11-12 left in the second.
No, we don't go empty. We got him back in there.
Mac's in there. I know. He's easy to miss. He's wide open, too.
Good move. Throw it. God knows. See, that's the kind of stuff. Just run the ball, make a first down, tip ball. Got to have something to worry about.
Yep. So does Vandy have?
See, there's a case of an interception happening because of a drop ball on second down. You know.
Yep.
And then you force it a little bit. I hate to say I told you so, but it's just hard to keep that standard going after the start we had.
Well, at some point you start to feel bad.
For the Commodores.
Yeah, you're on the other side. You're like,
I hope they keep it down a little bit because I don't want to sing till the fourth quarter. I want you to start getting your requests ready here because I've been practicing this week. No, I really haven't, but I did come down and look at Elvis a couple of times to make sure his hair looked good.
Always does, doesn't it?
Yeah, show him Elvis so that everybody that's not here knows we got him in the building. Got a 7-3 LSU over Miss. There he is, Elvis.
About what year do you think this is?
Probably 60. Let me look at it again. Yeah, it's about 60. That's one of his movie pictures. Maybe Jailhouse Rock or
Elvis is always in the building with us.
one of his early pictures. I liked it when he was romancing those Hollywood starlets.
Oh, yeah.
Sandra Dee.
My mother used to drag my grandmother to every Elvis movie. She was a big, big fan. I didn't really get to know her because she passed away when I was so very young. But my grandmother would tell me we had to go to every Elvis picture.
Right. I can tell you, I agree with it. As much as I like to hear him sing those movies, man.
Oh, yeah.
You had to have a lot of popcorn to get through those. Pat Boone now. Have you ever heard Pat Boone on the 50s on 5 on the Sirius Radio? 2 o'clock on a couple of days a week. He does some recaps of all the different songs back when he was back in the days, and he talks about the producers and all the people, how they got started. It's pretty good.
Sherry says Blue Hawaii, Coach.
That's good. Blue Hawaii's good, but makes you think more about Christmas. But I like I'll have a blue Christmas without you. That's what I'm thinking about you, Roddy. If you leave, and you'll be doing all right with your Christmas of white.
They're talking on broadcast about the new coaches in the SEC and some spotty records.
Seriously, right now, every one of those guys to the right of Clark Lee are not going to have a winning record, except maybe Harsin. Have you seen Harsin on when he does interviews? He starts talking and then he looks down, and then he talks and then he looks down. I don't know what he's looking at. I mean,
notes, Coach. Notes.
He doesn't have any notes. He just looks down. He doesn't want to look in the camera. Somebody needs to coach him up a little bit.
Well, he feels bad because he's running Tank Bigsby's legs
off. He makes some good points, but don't look down at.
I'll help him out.
Ooh, bad
good.
Side.
Jalen Carter. Just keep watching 88.
We still got our first team defense in.
Well, hey, it's a turnover. You got
Kirby gonna be mad about the
go out there and get that ball back.
I suspect in the second half you'll be seeing virtually all second and third team guys.
Well, you're going to see. I'd like to see that second team defensive line get in there. See Bill Norton get in there. See Zion Logue get in there.
They will.
See those the big boys. Ingram Dawkins. Here comes the Kobe. Oh my goodness, he closed 88 back-to-back plays.
Jeez. 88 and out the gate. You got to remember this guy played tight end in high school. There's another guy, if you listen to our show, that the spring that we recruited him, we projected this guy to be one of the best D linemen to ever play for us. Remember that?
Yes, you did. I remember we had him ranked like 50th in the nation, which is pretty bloody good. And you're like, why is he not 5? I'm like, top 50 is good. You're like, y'all missed on this one. I think you're right. I think we did. We should have had him as a top 10 guy.
Let's get a pick here.
And I think that was a odd front.
Good call on the screen. Make the tackle. Inside out.
That defense, Coach?
That was amoeba defense.
that was nuts.
Everybody line up where you want to and then go.
Yeah.
Due for a punt return. I've been talking about it, but the guy's kicking it out of bounds.
Yeah. I'm not going to kick it to Kears Jackson if I can avoid it.
9-12, 9-11 in the second quarter, 9-10, 9-09 to sync up with your TV and let us be your second screen experience. Marvin Babb, thanks for watching from Cohutta, Georgia. You talked
all right, Marvin.
Last week, that's right up.
That's got a chance right here. Woo. That's got a chance.
Nice punt.
Buddy fair caught it. Good punt.
What's the protocol, Coach, about your returner when you tell them to fair catch and when not to? I know that once you get close to your own end zone where your heels are, that's a big deal. But
yeah, I mean, you just got to have a feel for your protection and the guys coming down. I mean, if there's any doubt, fair catch it, because the one thing you at least got the ball. So that's one of the best things we got back there is a decision maker in Kieris. He knows how to run up and fair catch it. He gets those balls on the roll. He lets them go in the end zone. I mean, he's a great decision maker. And he's a good returner because he's quick on the start. Number one ingredient, though, is catch the ball. A guy that has trouble catching in practice not going to get in a game and catch it. And it's hard. I mean, the ball's coming at you. You're looking at the defense rushing you. A lot easier to return a kickoff than it is a punt.
I feel like we see fewer punt returns than we used to.
Probably do with the advent of the rugby kick and the fact that people really coach. You know, back in our day, we never used to. When I was punting, they never taught you to do a directional kick or anything like that. It said protect and kick is all we ever talked about. And but now a directional kick is where you think they might have the return on one way and you try to direct it away from where they line up. So if they show you on film when they line up like this, they set the wall, which is, you know, they block the outside or this side, or sometimes they block a middle return where they kick both sides out, thinking you're going to run to the outside and you run up the middle. So you kick away from where you think the return is because that makes it harder for them to block if they're running over here and you kick it over here. So I hope I made sense on that. But
Roddy, here's a good question for you. Chris Moore asked, any chance
it's about time somebody asked Roddy a question. What the heck's he doing here?
I'm basically drinking Bud Light Seltzer. So
all right, what is it?
That's all.
Any chance that Georgia gets some guys back healthy next week?
Yes, we put that in our 3-2-1 report. We mentioned that we did not expect Darnell Washington to be here. We did not expect Techie Smith to be here. We didn't expect Dominic Blaylock to be here or Arian Smith. None of those guys made the trip, so we were right. That's why you read the 3-2-1 report at UGAsports.com right now, 50% off if you want to join us. But I do expect at least 2, maybe 3, maybe 4 of those guys back next week against Arkansas. See Darnell Washington get back in the game. See Dominic Blaylock get out there a little bit maybe. Again, depends on these guys that are out there are really good. You got to come in and earn your spot. They don't just plug and play because, hey, you check the box that you're healthy this week. But a good week of practice, and those guys could be back out there, and that will give this offense even more weapons.
Stetson Bennett on the field for Georgia.
Bad run by Stetson. He should have run inside of Brock there. I don't know what they're trying to do with him here now. I mean, let the other guys have the ball.
Got to think the second half it's going to be a lot of Beck and even Vandegrift.
Be nice. We got to score some here, though. 3 out of 5.
So Georgia has 229 yards to Vanderbilt's 43 yards. And Georgia's 3 of 4 on 4th downs. Vandy is 1 of 6.
Got a chance to run the ball here.
Yeah.
It's pretty good vision for McIntosh.
Ooh.
Even just to have daylight as long as he did.
Not much movement, though.
No.
Yeah. The push was not there.
And that wasn't anybody new on the right-hand side.
We just don't – the guys that are in there, I mean, I guess they must be keeping Burton out too, but we don't have a lot of separation on the outside as far as we got Burton in now. Might hit him across the middle.
3rd and 9 for the Dogs, 7:34 in the second quarter, 7:33.
Changing the protection.
Bulldogs lead 35-0.
Nice. See how you change that protection to sprint out away from the rush there, Roddy? I mean, did you see that?
I did.
Good.
I always get nervous with a quarterback throwing across his body like that, but Stetson did a good job.
He did a good job. Good job of settling his shoulders, which you got to do. We really do have a great chance to throw the ball deep on these guys.
Should be offsides.
Oh, that's a nice throw and catch.
Pretty. Way to go.
Nice touch. Way to go, McConk.
What a game for McConkie.
Jump ball between McConkie and Stetson. See who the tallest is.
Penalties on Vanderbilt. Georgia will decline that.
Really nice touch there by Bennett.
I told you he was offsides.
I mean, you're due to get something right. No,
I get what a quarter now. Come on.
How about that?
That was
I don't even like that pass really because too much chance. I mean,
but
powder that sucker in there to Cook over here on the inside zone.
over the corner under the safety.
Right here.
That was beautiful.
Good to Cook.
There
Break it now. Break it. There you go. Ref on the ACL there.
Yeah, let's say, come on, ref, get out of the way.
We're going to go fast here. Watch us. We're going to go real fast and run a play. No, we're not. We're changing people.
Changing personnel. McConkey leads the team right now, 4 receptions for 62 yards.
I like McConkey a lot.
Yeah, I mean,
Really solid.
4 targets, 4 catches. Can't beat that. And again, redshirt freshman.
Roddy, any reason why we haven't seen Kendall Milton?
Good Lord. You got to take the exchange there.
I know, it's about time to bring him in.
There's a good chance shot of the back looking at the hole instead of securing the ball. Those are kind of things that we talked about are going to hurt us.
So on the field for Georgia, James Cook.
Watch him right here. Watch him. You got to tuck the ball away before you start accelerating.
At least he got it back. That was
Kenny Mack doesn't have a history of fumble issues, at least at Georgia. 3rd and 6, 5:16, 5:15 on the game clock.
You got him.
Yeah.
Go on and make a first down. Attaboy.
That's a good play.
There you go.
That's what he should have done the last time. He listens to him.
Is this going to be a holding?
Oh, that might be a target.
I don't think that was holding.
No, I'm thinking that might be a targeting call.
I'm trying to figure out what the flag could be. I didn't see something that should be around. I mean,
Come on, Stench. Don't guess.
that's what I'm doing.
I was talking,
Yeah, but you're not getting paid.
calling you Stench.
Oh, I'm not?
No,
Oh, dang.
not at all.
Do I have to pay you?
Yeah, for the pleasure of our company.
All right.
What? That was not targeting. Stetson won't even call that targeting. He slides underneath him.
I don't think it's targeting.
No, let the guy play. I think you asked the question about Kendall Milton. He's had a little trouble the last week or so. He's been banged up. I think they're being real careful with him based on what I've heard. But Roddy usually hears more than me. Have you heard that, Roddy?
I mean, a little bit, but not. I expected him to play. I didn't think he'd be out.
Well, once the game gets like this, you're probably better off.
Why take a chance?
Right.
That's a good point.
Good question by you, though, Dane. Way to be alert that why ain't he been in there?
I may not know people's hair like Brent Rollins does. You weren't here for that, Roddy, but Brent was calling out which player was who based on their hair, even before seeing the jersey number. I think it was Tramel Walthour that he was talking about.
Give us what's going on there.
That's I guess it's the same thing that you do with
no targeting.
With the not bringing the 4 guys up, traveling them up there. If you bring Kendall. And
here's the thing, yeah, right. You can only bring 70 on a trip like that.
Guys banged up. You don't.
It's my mother would say I'm wrong. You don't bring them, you take them.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, Mom. Tough on me on the English, but you take 70 players, and the ones you take, you hope can play. If there's any doubt about them, you take a lesser player and give him a chance to play in a game like this instead of letting the guys be on the sideline. Plus, they get a chance to do some rehab here.
Yep.
There's a quick pitch for a touchdown.
No.
I tell you what, they're overreacting to that wing formation. We need to fake the toss and throw it to the tight end. I don't care if you run and score up. It's not fair for them to blitz. what I mean is not fair. I mean, you know what I mean? Hey,
No, I know
if
exactly.
they're going to blitz, throw the damn ball.
Yeah.
You can't run against that look. But we're running a wristband play. Look at everybody looking at the wristband. Wristband number 7 is bunch formation with a tight end moving out. Probably going to run a one-man route with Bowers over here on this guy. Throw it to him. They can't cover him. I hate to say what I need to do. He's going to probably do that. But
All right, what happens here, Coach?
So he's not unhealthy. He has gotten the ball again in the last 5 minutes.
But what happens here? First down. I tell you, impressive, really, in the protection.
Oh yeah,
he had a year back there. Could have got another master's degree.
I think we line up in Burma Road right here.
They didn't get the first. Okay, did they get?
I go from second down to fourth down.
I think the ESPN graphic was missed
third
up.
down.
Okay, I was about to say that's
3rd and 1 at the 3.
Good.
Snap it.
How many guys do they have on the field right there?
That probably should have.
We don't have the perimeter blocked.
Yeah.
That probably should have been a delay of game as well. Georgia got a little lucky.
I think Vandy had 12 guys on the field. Looked like 40.
Well, then that should have been a penalty everywhere.
Yeah.
See, we don't have enough people. I mean, there's a great example of Fitzpatrick, a no-hitter there. Do you see that?
Yeah. It's completely.
The guy's coming down inside. We're going to watch us break the huddle fast here.
Jordan Davis out there.
Could be
Jordan,
throwing it to Jordan. Watch us throw it to him. There you go. We don't block the perimeter.
He didn't get it.
He did not.
2 times there, we got stuffed on the wing, came on the outside. Watch it. Show the replay. The wing back's got to block the guy coming from the outside. Well, that's a good coaching point there.
Was that Jordan Davis's guy?
No, it's the wings.
Okay.
Jordan was a tight end. See this guy come?
Okay, yeah.
Probably Carter.
Would have been better off throwing to Carter like he did last
Yeah,
time.
I would like maybe having Zeus run that, but that's okay. That's a coaching point.
I mean, that has been a concern for Georgia is some of the run game action stuff. But like I said, Coach, that was, 3 plays out of 4 there. Same issue.
Backside hurting us a little bit, but we'll be all right.
Roddy, how is that? Well, you're just shaking. I didn't hear anything in that can.
That one.
So that tells me how the Bud Light
that soldier has passed on to his great reward. So, any other say football season is seltzer season, so it's time to hit another seltzer here.
You know what I like about the Bud Light seltzers is that they're only 5% alcohol by volume.
Yeah, I mean,
but 100 calories. So that means if you want to go hard at these, you're not going to get bloated. You're also not going to get like completely wasted so early. So it's a great tailgate, slow drinking. You get the buzz, but you don't feel bad after it. That's what's good about this stuff.
Well, yeah, I like the 100 calories. That is, I mean, for the whole thing, 100 calories. That's just heavenly. And that peach lemonade, that's fantastic. Tell you folks, y'all got to try those. They're good. And if you're one of those people like, that's carbs, beer, I can't do that. 2 carbs, 2 grams. Can't beat it. So less than 1 gram of sugar. No aftertaste. There are some of these things that have the seltzers, because everybody's trying to do seltzers now, and they have a really bad aftertaste. You know, it's like you have to cut it with something. Not these. These are fantastic. So hit those up.
Lewis Austin says Georgia may get shut out this quarter.
Well,
Vandy may get a second quarter tie.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll tell you guys, at halftime, normally we run a slideshow. I'm going to put up the stats on the screen for you to be able to see, but we'll have our microphones turned off. Our camera will go off for a moment, but we'll take a halftime break and be back with you for the third quarter. You can just leave this up or come back to it however you want to, and we'll make sure we get you recalibrated for the third quarter. Omari Carmichael says Beck should play in the third quarter and Vandergriff in the fourth. I could see something like that potentially happening. But I also
we needed to seal that right there. But watch the backside here. You got to block the guy coming off the edge here.
.229 left in the first half. Georgia leads 35-0. Vanderbilt takes over at its own 3-yard line.
It's be a good time to use your timeouts, Kirby.
Got to think Vandy's just trying to get that call.
If they don't make it on second down here, I would call timeout. I don't care what the score is. Practice your 2-minute offense. But
practice your 2-minute offense, but also get playing time for a lot of these guys that aren't going to have those situations in real live games very frequently.
Yeah, he'll call a timeout on third down, but I don't think he will here.
152. Zion.
Right now, timeout.
Yeah, Zion Logue making the play there.
I don't understand this. I don't care what the score is. Wouldn't you call a timeout here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Roddy would call timeout anytime.
I'll call it. Yeah, I just called the timeout.
We don't need details.
I just called a timeout right then.
We've got 3 timeouts left, and
I think they're just happy to go in and like, look, we'll stop them here, go in up 35-0, not worry about it. But to me, I would just
call a timeout here and take a 1-minute.
You're practicing for stuff that you want to do later in the season.
He did call a timeout here.
So you get a 1-minute offense with probably a manageable field.
Yeah, I mean, he knows what he wants. Figured even 1 minute will be enough.
What are the different increments of offenses that you practice, Coach? I know there's the traditional 2-minute. Do you have a 1 minute and a 30-second?
Yeah, you got all kind. Plus, where you are, like last week, we say, hey, we need to get 2 first downs and we got a field goal. A lot of this is going to be based on the punt. If they punt the ball back to inside our 40, our first play will probably be a draw or screen to make sure we don't turn the ball over. And if we make some yardage, we'll go on into the 2-minute offense, or the 1-minute offense. But
who do you want out here to run this offense?
Yeah,
I want Washington. I want.
Now, do you want Stetson Bennett or?
I would let Bennett do it just because I don't want this other kid hurt. I mean, I don't want Bennett hurt.
That's my question, yeah.
I mean, he doesn't need to practice that. He practices it all the time. I mean, he's not going to play anymore today. I mean, the guy's got a sore arm. He's got a oblique situation. I mean, so what if he practices against Vanderbilt?
But that's what I was wondering. I mean, some people would say, "Hey, look, the more you practice the 1 minute in real life situations,
but don't practice with his bad shoulder."
No, that's fair. That's why.
Or oblique. Not that it's bad, but it's rehabbing.
Right.
You would just kick yourself the rest of the year if any of your good players get hurt at this point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just, and I told you that good start was going to be tough on us because it's hard to live up to that.
Yeah. Well, everyone says don't take your foot off the gas. Well, when you're going 200 miles an hour,
you got a couple things there. You got a drop pass, you had an interception, you had a missed block. I mean, nothing Vanderbilt did.
Want to remind everyone, wherever you're watching this, stay tuned after. It's going to be a new stream, but the post-game overreaction show.
That ought to be great.
Paul Meharry. We'll see what there is to overreact to. I have a feeling that
we got all sorts of stuff.
The goal line will be one of those things. Our friend Ray here in the chat, if the referees are continue with some poor spotting of the ball, maybe that's the thing. But either way, our post-game overreaction show, that's where you can join our UGA Sports staff and team and talk about UGA and where Georgia goes from here. Maybe you get a little live commentary for the Arkansas game that'll be on at 3:30 on Eastern time. That's going to be right around the time that the post-game overreaction show's going.
Yeah. You definitely want to catch in that.
Johnny Ballgame says, hello, Roddy.
Let's see what happens here.
That's my boy, Johnny Ballgame. He ducks my calls, though.
Oh,
Johnny Ball Game.
Johnny Ballgame. Local area legend.
all right. 4th and 5. Vanderbilt punt team on the field.
It's about to be 4th and 10.
False start. Is that a half the distance?
Yeah, it's what did it end at the 9?
Yes, that should be around the 4.5.
8 for us is Sherman.
Yep.
Heels
We
on
got
the
the return on.
heels on the back line. Punt is away.
You got it. 50-yard line now. You got one 1 minute offense. You got 2 timeouts.
Oh, drama, Roddy. Johnny Ballgame says, you didn't return my call.
He's such a liar. You can't trust him.
Hey, this isn't as the world turns.
Well, someone's not telling the truth here.
Yeah,
Hey,
let's.
who are you going to believe?
Probably
you're-
Johnny Ballgame.
Oh, the big
know
question
Johnny
for us
Ballgame
is not who the quarterback will be, but who returned the call, Johnny Ballgame or Roddy Nabos.
Yep.
It's more drama than what's actually happening on the field. Nice shot of the field there, ESPN.
Nice.
All right, so they got Stetson under with some protection.
Well, that's a good throw. Look at that athleticism. Get out of bounds. All right. Did you see the zip on that ball?
I did.
I like that aggression.
But he doesn't have a strong arm, coach.
Mm-hmm. These cameramen,
They're drunk.
take it.
Yep.
Get out of bounds. That looks like George Pickens right there on the weak side. Throw it to, from standpoint, you just got one-on-one. Keep throwing it out.
This peach is really good.
We took Mitchell out and put Johnson in. We might be running a run play here with a tight formation.
Georgia still has 2 timeouts remaining. Ball on the 20-yard line. 36
Different formation
seconds.
here. Johnson on the weak side, and we got Burton Strong.
Cook was the first read. Ball tipped.
I don't think he was. I think he was trying to throw the X, but you might be right. You know how to read those defenses, Dane.
I was more reading Stetson's eyes.
It's pretty good. You can see those eyes up in Nashville.
From this camera work.
His head was that way, but we're taking Burton out now. Where's McConkey? Hey, there's old Rosemy. Hit him one time. He needs to catch one. There's a shift, not fair.
Look at 19.
Good protection.
Yeah.
There you go. Way to get your head around Johnson.
See, they went back to Robinson again.
I mean Robinson. Excuse me. I don't know why I call him Johnson. My bad, Robinson. I know who you are.
Because it's Justin. It's the first name. That's what throws you.
That's a very good reaction by him. The first time we talked about him not getting his head around, that was good.
Cortez Hankin over there coaching him up.
Yeah, a lot of people right here. This would be a running down with a but we're going to throw the ball in the flat.
How do you know it's going to the flat?
Nothing
We're
doing
going
there.
to kick a field goal now. I don't know why we didn't run that ball.
No.
Good throwaway. Let old Pod kick one. People would be happy when the line's at 35 and a half. We had a little mismatch there.
In this game, it's been exactly, I think, what we thought in terms of only thing stopping Georgia is Georgia.
Yeah.
Kick is up.
Right down the pipe.
And it's good.
And there's a lot of people happy right now.
Georgia leads 38-0. There's still 15 seconds left.
Good job on the drive. You just didn't finish it, but
You like to see Podlesny back in a rhythm. He had a tough start to the year, but it seems like he's found his confidence again. He's a good kid. I enjoy any chance that he speaks with media.
Yeah, he does a great job.
And Georgia wins the second quarter unless Vanderbilt does something crazy in these final 15 seconds. I would suspect in the second half, all of the Georgia star power will remain on the sideline and be ready for Arkansas next week.
Hey, we get the ball first.
Man, if a blowout like this, I'm going to have to switch over to those teas.
You have to do what?
I'm going to switch from lemonade to tea.
The Bud Light Seltzer tea.
Or put them together for an Arnold Palmer.
Arnold Palmer's good. Kicking game's been outstanding today. Caused a turnover on the kickoff. He kicked it short on purpose, hoping for a turnover. Didn't
get it. Send Jalen Johnson down there to steal it again.
That's what I was thinking when I said Robinson, calling him Johnson 23 instead of 9. My bad. All right, here we go.
So there was a number 13 on the kick coverage team, but there's only 13 I know is Stetson Bennett.
We got 13, probably some DB.
Yeah, who is that? I see him.
What's his name?
Is that Lassiter?
I thought Kamari was.
He's 11.
He's 3.
Who's 11?
11 is Arian Smith and Darian Kendrick.
Yeah, Kendrick. Right.
So who's wearing 13? He was right there. Oh, he just got clubbed to the ground.
All right, sports fans. First half, Georgia 38, Vanderbilt nothing. Excellent job
in the first half.
Excellent job. Band's getting ready to come out and do some really good stuff here.
That'll be the best performance Vandy has all day.
Yeah.
So Georgia leads 38-0.
Who else does Vanderbilt have on the non-conference left?
They play Connecticut next week.
Oh, that's a W.
A night game.
You're talking about the pillow. Here we go.
Kirby pretty much confirms that some more quarterbacks will be playing in the second half, which I think that was obvious anyway. There's DJ Shockley.
Mad about his kicking.
What did he say?
Says their kicking team's not getting it done.
He just said kickoff is not doing what it should be doing. But he's going to find something.
They ain't gotten one past the 20-yard line, Kirby.
Total yards, Georgia has 326. Vandy has 50. Georgia, 215 passing yards, 111 rushing yards. Bulldogs are 5 of 8 on third down, most of that happening early in the game. Total plays, Georgia 43, Vanderbilt 25.
So I'm going to go take a break. Get some questions. We'll answer them.
Yeah, let's do that. If you have questions, put them into the comment section. We will show them on screen. I know there was a couple early. I missed B&E and a couple other guys that asked right off the bat. We will touch those. I know there was one question about, will Georgia bring in somebody at that right guard spot with a little more size? And I think we will touch on that question when we come back. Be sure to watch the commercials and stick with us. The second half, you definitely want to be here for the second half when the coach starts singing.
Right. Think about our right guard. Erickson's a solid player, and people have a tendency to think what he can't do instead of what he can. But, he gives you a lot of continuity in there. We didn't have many lost yardage plays. A couple on short yardage bothered me, but really weren't that sloppy with the ball. Pretty good execution. I mean, any way you look at it, you can find some things wrong, but you got your fourth team receiver out there, got 4 receptions for, touchdown and, run for a touchdown. I mean, he's just an excellent player. But when I say fourth team, because we got other guys that aren't on the trip, nothing against him, but he's like the 6th or 7th receiver for us. But Boston College getting after the Mizzou Tigers. Mizzou's another team that I'm looking forward to because their defense looks a lot like this one you're seeing from Vanderbilt.
Wow, that's like you know, when predicted that Georgia was going to lose to Clemson in week 1, I got a lot of grief for it. But I was telling people, I mean, I was just thinking with all the guys they're missing. I said, look, I told people before it happened, Ladd McConkey is going to play a lot in this game. Brock Bowers, a true freshman, is going to have to line up all over the field. I didn't think that they would have the kind of year that they were. I said, you know, I just thought that Georgia had so many weapons missing.
True, but
be able to go up against Clemson.
Plus, you also thought Clemson had an O-line.
I did. I thought that. I mean, I'm used to Mitch Hyatt over there just folding people in half. You know, at least putting up a.
Hey, they're gonna have trouble with the pack tonight.
Oh, that would.
Let's save some of this for the second half.
I got some buddies that are big Pack fans. They would be at seventh heaven if they pull that off.
Pack, and then we got over in Atlanta. Here comes Mac Brown and that scoring machine against Jeff Collins' Yellow Jackets. So we're going to take a break. Okay.
All right. Sounds good.
I am anyhow. You guys can.
We'll be back for the second half. We'll get you recalibrated with the clock when that happens. Stick with us here. Thanks for joining us on the UGA Sports Watch Along show presented by Bud Light Seltzer and Athens Ford. All right, hello everyone. We are back on the UGA Sports Watch Along show for the second half of Georgia and Vanderbilt. This is Jim Donnan. This is Riding to Bolsey. I'm Dane Young. If you will, share this with your friends. If you're watching on social media, if you have Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, if you want to go run to your neighbor's house and say, hey, you should check out what they're doing over here at the UGA Sports Watch Along show, we would appreciate that because it helps our numbers and helps more people know that we do this show and we do it for you so you can understand more about Georgia football and get the perspective of the former Georgia Bulldogs head coach, the coach of the coach, as we see Kirby Smart on the screen.
Yeah, we got the ball starting out the second half, and going to be interesting to see our approach, how much the first team we're going to play on each side of the ball. Right here, we'll have our first team kickoff return ready here, and it looks like a squib kick, and we got one of the best guys in the country running it back there, and good run back.
Kenny McIntosh.
We're going out with our first team line again, so looks like we're going with the Benedict quarterback, first team line, probably got Salyer left tackle, Schaefer left guard. There's Robinson playing split in, and hey, that's good for JT. Let him rest that arm. Get ready for those Razorbacks, man.
Yeah.
Two backs in the game here.
James Cook and Zeus.
Very good block there.
Woo!
I like the idea we got two backs. That's our pony look. James can be a slot. He can be a motion man. He can be a guy that catches bubble screens. You use that when your receivers are down a little bit, but could see a steady dose of Zamir here.
See if the O-line gets pushed that we've been talking about.
Good push there.
Yeah. I mean, he wasn't touched till he was 2 yards past the line of scrimmage. Gotta love that.
I could see
Just mashing the rest of the way.
just Burma Road here.
Maybe just not even throw it on this drive until they force you to.
Most people I could say that, but Monken.
Well, he will take what the defense gives you. Now look at that. They're coming
let me
up
help you.
closer. They're coming up closer.
Got one-on-one on the weak side.
I'm going to help you sync this up. 1347, 1346.
Run.
He was pointing out to Block and Bowers. I think he was pointing out to.
That's one of the things that this kid gives you on the misdirection. That
He's laughing. It's like, Bronco, what did you to block that guy?
Well, his first role was to run a crossing route, and then he realized that Stetson was running. A good waist down here.
Johnny Lester says offensive line's finally getting some push.
Johnny's right.
13-20.
We got some push early, but we just didn't do good on short yardage.
2nd and 1 for the Dogs. 13-14, 13-13.
Nice cut.
Yeah.
Vandy at this point is just moving their front a little bit, which I would too against some mashers we got. So we got to be careful about.
How do you mean that?
Well, they're instead of line up in the 5 and going underneath, or lining up inside and going out, they're not exactly trying to take on blocks. So that we got to be able to probably in that position there. We were running a kick out block, and a guy jumped inside him, and then you saw White jump outside. Vandergrift's got him as a Trevor Lawrence haircut now.
I like the Viking.
The Viking. Thor.
12-30, 12-29, 12-28.
Nice move there, Stetson. Get down.
That was really good pocket presence.
Yeah, I didn't think he saw that kid coming up behind him.
I'm not sure.
I can tell you this right now, based on that based on the fact he's had 2 interceptions, those guys are going to have to be wide ass open for him to throw it. I promise. Because he ain't going to take a chance on that boy getting after him there. Kirby's shed is a warm up now.
Hey, a lot of heat coming off that offense. But it's a fire in Nashville. He can just warm up and put his hands out there, get nice and toasty.
Nice.
Roddy, are you surprised?
One thing you got there is every time until they stop it is on that play, nobody's playing the quarterback. So we might see a keeper in a minute. So I didn't mean to interrupt you. What's your surprise?
I'm asking Roddy if he's surprised that the first team offensive line is still in there for the most part.
A lot of times you bring in the first after the half, even when you're blowing a team out for that first drive. A lot of times you see the coaches bring in the first team.
How many reps did they get the first half? How many offensive? How many did we have?
They didn't really get sweaty.
Here's a Cook on the. Why would you throw it to that guy?
That's just terrible. So Uncle Lou's entered the chat. Hey, Uncle Lou. Hey,
in all seriousness, hey, that kid from the West Coast is come on and strong today. I didn't even think he would play. You people that hadn't been watching this, a guy on the West Coast that I know in the press asked me, how's that young kid from California doing at tight end?
That is your SEC Player of the Week. I'm just letting y'all know.
It could be your SEC Player of the Year.
I like to see Beck come in there now. Nice march here, Georgia. You never want to get 44 points. You want to get 45. You know why?
I was going to say no one.
Because Sheriff Bill always say what killed Jesse James, a 44. You want a 45.
That was a well-executed drive from Stetson Bennett.
Exactly.
Oh, but I'm told he's terrible. I'm reading the comments here. It's I'm tired of this Stetson Bennett horse shit.
Did somebody say that?
Yeah.
What was horse shit? Because the ball was
no, because Lane Kiffin is letting his quarterback light it up, and Kirby is holding his quarterback back.
His quarterback doesn't have a bad oblique.
Yeah.
Also, if Ole Miss had a 35-point lead in the third quarter against Vanderbilt, don't think you're seeing Matt Corral in the field. That's just smart coaching.
You know, the thing that kills me, all these people talking about Lane Kiffin play caller and everything. He doesn't call the plays. Jeff Levy calls the plays. I mean, he's the head coach and everything, but Kirby's the head coach. I mean, Lanning calls the defense, but Kirby helps set up everything.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, these guys saying, I want to see that matchup of Lane Kiffin calling the plays against Nick Saban calling the defenses. Well, go to practice one time. That's when you'd see it, because you're not going to see it in the game. But I don't need to be getting on anybody. I got enough problems.
Now, I get it. A lot of people want to see – they don't want to see Stetson Bennett in there. They want to see Carson Beck and Brock Vandegrift so that you can develop those young quarterbacks.
They're getting developed in practice, but you also got to base it on the way they practice, and the second team guys deserve to play. I mean, the guy came in and lit it up against UAB, who hasn't lost the game except the one they lost to us. So I just think he gives us a real good change up that we got with our running game, and have him running the ball and throwing it. So Beck, I would say Beck's probably coming in next series.
Yeah. Bring in Beck, and then bring in hopefully Beck looks better than they did last time he got in. Last time he got in, he looked like a deer in headlights. He bombed.
That was his first chance.
He absolutely bombed. Maybe this time he'll be better. And I would like to see Brock in there doing something besides just handing the ball off, or just get some live fire. So I'm with the fans that want to see the guys get developed, but at the same time, you're trying to win a championship.
Seriously, but let me just say this: as far as
put your best guys in there.
Have they watched? I mean, these guys go and practice against good defense every day, so they're working on them there. Brock, he's talking about what he's going to have for breakfast in the morning.
That's 3 touchdowns for Bowers in this game, 2 touchdown receptions, and then he had the sweep run. So quite a game for him, quite a game for Lad McConkey.
We got a tight end coming in that I read on the vault. Sperlin's having a heck of a year, and they're still trying to recruit Delp. And Mike Lucky's son's a junior that we're after, Lawson. So tight end's looking good for the Dogs.
Oscar Delp is enjoying the hell out of this. And Pierce Sperlin, the Georgia commit, he is the lead dog in that 2023 recruiting class.
Good for him.
5 touchdowns last week. He is a bad man. You look at him; he doesn't look that big, but he is a Brock Bowers. He's just a pure athlete. He's a scorer, and if you can get him and Lawson Lucky in that next, you bring in one and Delp, and then bring in two and Lawson Lucky and.
Very good play by Dean playing the flare on man coverage, and there's Ringo coming up. I look for us to play the secondary pretty much the whole third quarter because they think the ball's going to be in the air a lot.
Even the front still mostly starters with.
We got a cross blitz here, and they picked it up.
They did.
Ringo getting some confidence.
So who do you decide on that cross blitz goes in first? Because you saw them shooting Kobe Dean with Quay coming off of his left shoulder.
It's usually, we call it east-west fire. If it's east, the guy on the right. If it's west, the guy on the left. I mean, east is to the right, west.
What I enjoy seeing off of that is Nolan Smith, how he has to drop back to cover.
Yeah.
And
that's Tarzan defense right there. Going Tarzan on them.
About to make them look like Jane.
You're going to bail.
3rd and 8 for the Commodores.
That is unbelievable coverage there. Way to sit on it, Ringo. No penalty.
Ringo just held the guy there. Just like, you're not going to get past me, and I'm going to knock it down when it gets here. That kid is turning into quite the player.
If he could just get a little faster, we'll be all right.
For those that don't know, Coach is being very facetious there. That is
4-3. He and Smith are the two fastest guys on our team. Arian Smith.
Ooh, Marcus Roseby Jackson almost got
another rugby.
Why did he snag that in the air? That ball would have gone further, right?
He probably just
bouncing backwards sometimes.
He's probably so glad to touch one. He just. All right, the big question is who the dog's going with on this group.
I like Larry Munson tribute.
Yeah, they're gonna have a show on. Kenny Chesney's gonna do a show on all the voices of the different programs.
I've never asked you this, Coach. Do you have any good Larry Munson stories?
Oh, I got so many of those I can't even remember, but.
Probably some you can't tell either.
No, but he was a legend. He was good. The only thing I told him one time, I said, Larry, I really wish you'd come out to practice so you could learn some of these guys' names. You got spotters and all that. And I said, hey, we'll come out here and we'll help you. And you can, there's a pass. We got a man. And then he came out there, and the day he came, I knew he was coming. I gave him a sweatsuit, a Georgia sweatsuit, and he liked it. And later on, he moved over there near my son's house, and he developed a real relationship with my grandson, who now is out in Oklahoma, and my little grandson would come over there and hang with, they would hang around Larry. It was great. He was an awesome guy. Had a heart of gold.
He did. I had to do a number of photo shoots with Larry. We had to do one in the middle of summer. And Coach, it was like 110 degrees, and they wanted him to go down and hold like a beer can and toss a football around behind the hedges. And we took him, and I had set up lights, and I'm pouring sweat. We put him in a car and drive him out as close as we can. And he stood out there and he's like, and I'm trying to get him out as fast as possible, but the lights, because it's so bright, the strobes aren't wanting to go off. And he's like, well, just do it. Just mop this sweat off me. I mean, he was miserable, but he's such a damn pro, and he worked with us so well. We got the shots, we got him throwing the ball in the air and holding up the beer can with the label turned right. Just an absolute, and the whole time he had me and the rest of the crew just dying laughing, telling us stories.
He had some stories, didn't he?
He did. I mean, not just football stuff. I mean, he had some crazy stuff.
Jay in the YouTube chat says that Larry's granddaughter was his friend 10 years ago and gave him some mementos from Larry. That's really cool.
Still got Beck waiting on the sideline here. Come on, Cook. Turn it on. Nice.
Woo!
Very
Turn
nice.
around, Truss. Truss just lands on the pile.
So we got Truss in at right guard.
Roderick Jones.
Roderick Jones at left tackle.
This is one of those plays I've seen so much. I felt like I could tell you where I was when it happened, but I wasn't alive. So it just like it's so much a part of my
I was there for
existence.
that one.
I remember I was at a golf
Hoping
tournament.
old Haynes' son comes here.
Oh, Justice Haynes is a bad man.
Kenny Mack. 9:28, 9:27, 9:26, third quarter. Georgia leads 45-0.
So we got Mims in at right tackle.
Was he? Awesome.
Truss at right guard. Left tackle is
Jones.
Roderick Jones. What is this? This is your life, man? You're answering for it. Can even say it.
Got to be faster, Coach.
All right, I will.
On your toes, Coach.
All right, I got to do it faster. You.
That's Erickson at left guard. Nice.
I like lining up under center and handing the ball to the back so they can do the cutback. Did you notice that he had a good angle there?
I was going to tell you about that.
Okay, tell me.
I was going to see if you noticed it because I saw it right away.
Okay, you and Dane jump in there now.
Barry J says if James Cook would just plant his foot and go, he would get more yards.
Don't catch a touchdown. Tight ends, man. Right, boy, Fitzpatrick.
Tight ends. My weekly tweet about tight ends. Oh, they're going to line up, go fast. Here we go.
I like the fact we're getting lined up here. Touchdown.
Yep. Not even close.
Not touched, I don't think. 50 burger.
It's coming.
It's coming. It happened. The 50 burgers happened.
I was thinking 60. Sorry.
Yeah. My boy
So
I'm trying to think who it is.
I didn't make that point.
Russ has a thing on Facebook. He gives away steaks for the right score. I'm going to get screwed because I didn't count a field goal. I paid 63-0. And I was thinking I was going to win those 2 steaks, but I can't get 63 based on this. The only way they could do it is score.
Maybe we can go edit your comment.
Nah.
Change the number.
But nice march there.
How about a touchdown and then 2 back-to-back safeties?
Yeah, any way you can figure it out. But I need those. Somebody send me some steaks. I need to win too.
Hey, well, if we do if y'all folks want to hit up that super chat thing, we'll get some.
No. See, I was a joke. Hey,
do the super chat.
You can't say anything about that. But I tell you one thing, Elvis.
Hey, I like those super chats.
I'm just telling you, Elvis is over there getting his makeup on.
He's getting ready. So what is Elvis's domination song? Just killing somebody. I mean, I don't know what the appropriate.
You mean just mashing somebody?
Yeah.
I don't know. You could sing. Now the stage is bare and I'm standing there. That's what they're doing for Vanderbilt. You could get the Beatles. You could get the Beatles to sing "Help."
Exactly. I need somebody help.
Kenny, talk about it.
A little shake, rattle, and roll.
Shake, rattle, and roll. Fats Domino. I might have to do a little Fats Domino.
Jermaine King came through with a super chat and said, "Steak for everyone." Yes, sir, Jermaine King.
Jermaine King is one of the best Bulldog fans in the history of Bulldog fans. I've known him for a couple.
Give him a refund. That's pitiful.
Now, look, I love Jermaine. He does this often, so like this is not a criticism of the amount here, but it'd be some dollar store steaks with the quantity. But I'm not being critical.
No, I think. I feel bad.
Jermaine is one of our best friends. He is
bad.
He is a huge supporter of the show. He's a huge supporter of the company.
Roddy will make it right.
I will.
Let's just ask some good questions here about I like Texas A&M today.
I tell you, Jermaine, pop a question in here. We'll make sure that you get your money's worth out of that one.
Oh,
we really do appreciate it, though.
Jermaine is the best. No, that's again, that is a damn good guy.
Good, Jermaine. I appreciate it.
Jermaine says that gets one steak sandwich at Bojangles. Fair enough.
They got steak sandwiches, Bojangles. All I get is chicken.
Wow. Dude, no, the chicken, the steak biscuit. That's the number one thing on the roster over there.
Oh, biscuit. I thought you were talking about
steak sandwich is what he says. But maybe he means the biscuit off of, with it. I had a steak biscuit from Stripling.
Biscuit with meat in the middle is a biscuit sandwich.
Sure.
I think what's the
Johnny Lester says, as a reasonable fan, I'll be happy with 80-0.
Way to go, Johnny Lester.
They need some mercy rule here.
Hey, let's get that running clock going. He's going to bring it out.
Guys,
well done, sir. Well done.
I was not.
They're going to start on their 11.
Put the second team in. Roddy, you probably predicted a close game on your thing. What did you predict?
Let's call out some of the players that we see out here on defense now. Now we see Jim Nagy.
Look, I'm going to grab the roster because I think they should be – well, again, I would say you're into the third and fourth team, but Coach pointed out you only bring 70. So
yeah, you hate to play a team like this on the road because you got to play a lot of guys on this kicking team and all. But there's Quay Walker over there. What's the deal with him?
We really can't see much of the screen right now.
No, that's messed up. 802, 801.
That play there looked good when they drew it up, but hey, the best play they've run today is the fake pitch and the keep.
See, Tresman Marshall.
Smith and still back in the secondary. Kirby doesn't want him to hit a deep one on us.
No.
Channing Tindall is really helping his case for NFL draft time. He's played really well this year.
Yeah. He sure has.
I'm glad to see Tresman Marshall getting that tackle.
I like to see Shannon come back for another year myself. We got star blitz here.
Yeah, here comes Javon Bull. Oh, Javon got destroyed. Javon went right into that right
Good
tackle.
thing about it, though, he made him take up the blocker.
True.
So, Jeffrey Rucker
let's see if we get Tarzan again. Give the signal. Watch him show it. Tarzan, what are you going to run?
Do it. Do it.
Sorry if I've already talked about this, but did Kendall Milton not make the trip?
We don't have privy to that stuff.
Apparently, he made the trip, but he's just not going to play because he's a bit banged up.
Yeah, I mean
you don't need him, so why take the chance? You take him in as an emergency, but he's not going to play.
We're heating him up here.
Wow.
He wants a lost yardage play. 33. Good gracious.
Oh my goodness.
Beal.
That is just
Robert Beal. That's just rude. That's rude.
It's not fair though. I mean, don't blitz anymore, Kirby.
Hey, they should have canceled last year.
This is going to be a negatory. They don't have positive yards now, do they? This is see that? Good job by the tackle blocking the air.
That air was really blocked, Coach. He stopped it. Yeah.
If he rugby's this slightly. One, he's going to kick it straight and kick it out of bounds.
That's why you grab it quick. That ball's
back there. So here comes Beck, I bet.
The 35-yard line. Hey, there's the hotel in which I have a room that's not being used because Vandy didn't give us enough credentials.
You had to pay for your room?
Yeah, we bought it ahead of time.
That's way to be on top of it.
Well, we were able to get the
how many credentials you get?
We got one out of our request for 4. We normally get 4. They gave us 1.
Well, aren't you glad you're here?
I am glad to be here.
We are too.
Late in the third quarter, Boston College leads Missouri 24-17, something that Coach Donnan said would likely happen on Around the League this week.
I hope they show us the damn game instead of these. Okay. There he goes.
Yep, Carson Beck is in the game.
Oh,
we're missing the perimeter blocks.
I was about to say,
We got Seether in the tight end. Is he 80?
Yes, sir.
All right. We should have some. There's Truss. Meeks coming in.
Wow. Jackson Meeks, the freshman.
How about Willock's in there?
Willock
My
up
boy Willock now, Man Mountain Dean. We got about 2,000 pounds up there right now.
Watch 77, the left guard.
Kenny McIntosh, running back.
It's just a big old boy.
It's a good pass from Carson Beck.
There's Meeks.
Jackson Meeks, true freshman from Phoenix City, Alabama, Central High School.
You know who the best receiver to ever come out of Phoenix City?
Who's that?
Jimmy Red Phillips. All-American at Auburn.
For his freshman year, Justin Ross was beginning to make his claim.
Oh, he was
for
too,
that,
but Jimmy Red Phillips was All-American on that 57 team, but they had too bad he didn't have a tearaway jersey there.
Oh.
Erickson's still in there. Was he playing center?
he's playing center.
Yeah. So you got Truss at 73 at right guard. He's 6'7", 330 pounds, and Willock 6'7", 335 pounds at left guard. So you're mentioning about the weight.
332 and a half
Yeah.
average.
Yeah.
Beck, I hope you do some good stuff, son. You've worked hard. You deserve it. He's going to let you throw it again.
He is.
They sitting down on you, boy. You got to run around them.
Warren Erickson is snapping with his left hand, which is that's the only way he can snap right now, as he recovers from his broken hand. Correct, from early in camp.
He did have a broken hand, but he's been snapping with his left since before the first game. But it's just not strong. You know what I mean?
I don't even know who the third team center is.
Blasky.
Yeah, Austin Blasky, who traveled. I'd like to see him get in there too. And maybe Lindbergh.
You got one-on-one at the top. Hit it up there.
Did he see it?
Good coverage. What I'm talking about is the camera.
Yeah, I don't
know what that was all about.
Yeah. Maybe I'll zoom out a little bit so we can see what the hell's going on.
Brock Vandergriff went to college and lost a
He was
razor.
trying to hit Karras there. Too bad. I'd like to see him catch one.
Johnny Ballgame says Georgia's defense is the best I've seen in college football top to bottom since Miami in 2001.
I disagree with that, Johnny. I hope we're going to be good, but we basically have played the Little Sisters of the Poor for 4 games now on offense.
Which that was a surprise from Clemson, but when you see Clemson struggle to score points on Georgia Tech last week, it makes you wonder.
Yeah, Clemson is way overrated.
We're gonna be a really good defense, but we don't have any Ed Reeds back there. Can you believe he was playing? Ed Reed and Blades, and boy, they had some guys. Every guy in their secondary was drafted.
Was Sean Taylor on that defense?
I think he was a little later, but he
Okay.
came around. But just
Vince Wilfork was.
oh yeah, we're talking about secondary, but the guys up front, yeah. I mean,
Y'all ain't doing push-ups for 55 points. Come on.
I don't know if that girl's gonna make 55.
Is that even push-ups?
I'm about to say
Just leaning against the rail.
You leaning against the rail is not a push-up. Let's see you drop down to the ground there doing for real. Number 3.
They're gonna let somebody else kick off here.
Pod Lesney.
Pod, here's your chance. This is where you could get some breakdown, playing some different guys on the kickoff team. But fortunately, he called a fair catch.
Yep.
Now,
No, I think he just screwed him up.
Did he touch the ball? It's
He
going to be
did. He
two.
touched it and knocked it out of bounds. They're going to get on the 2.
safety, I could get 63. 2 safeties and a field goal.
Coach, I wanted
See, look,
to ask you.
He touches it, knocks it out.
This job, and I think everyone understands that the task that Clark Lee has in front of him is just a mountain of a task.
Herculean.
And there's so many factors involved in that. Where do you begin?
Well, you just got to have a plan, and you got to recruit. I would really work hard on the transfer portal. They don't take JUCO kids, so you got to get transfers in there, and you got to just recruit on a, just from the standpoint of just selling them that you can play early more than anything. So everybody, we're going to have a real good roster here now. Who's in there, Roddy? Because
Nazir Stackhouse is 78. Remember, he's had quite the season so far. That is one of the big stars in the future of the defensive line. So Amir Speed's in there, working from that cornerback spot.
Dan Jackson's out there. He's been out there a little bit, though.
There's Sherman.
Chaz Chambliss. Notice him, 32. That kid is just an absolute baller. Look at him take on that block, make the tackle.
All right, Speed, let's see what you can do over here. There's old Lowe.
I see it. Zion Lowe out there.
3rd and 7 for the Commodores, 3:20 on the game clock, 3:19, 3:18. We're in the third quarter. Georgia leads 55-0.
I'm going to stake my deal here. This quarterback is going to run this ball.
MJ Sherman is number 8 for folks trying to follow at home.
You missed me just saying that, Roddy.
No, sorry.
Come on, keep up with the broadcast. I said he's switching to the other side. Good tackle. Don't give him a first down. Feel sorry for him.
Kamari Lassiter, we were talking about who was number 13. That's Kamari.
This is what you sell for Vanderbilt, the new dressing room.
I mean, you're in Nashville, so that should be a draw for some people. But one of the issues is that Nashville doesn't really care for Vandy football.
It does not.
You can be in Nashville and have no clue there's an SEC football team there.
Oh, that's very true.
Guys working on facilities. Good job. Surely they're going to punt here. Oh, this is what they're planning, $300 million. I'd get hard on the NIL too.
Yeah. I'll tell you, some of those big offensive linemen have dreams about being country music stars.
They have dreams about bachelorette trips in Nashville.
Yeah, well, I mean, that works too.
You say the big linemen want to be country music?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
They all want to be the next Toby Keith.
I tell you, Toby Keith's a good OU supporter.
Yep.
You got a pretty good chance we got you and him and Switzer supporting them.
Yeah, I'm just saying, if they're like, look, if Florida Line can do it, anybody else can.
Toby Keith.
Georgia, Florida Line, whatever that.
My daughter lives out there in a neighborhood where Toby developed it, and about every other Sunday he comes over there to the club and eats lunch. They see him. He was also, his little boy played junior high football, and their team had the best equipment that anybody's ever seen.
I love it.
He dressed them out in style.
Nice.
Vanderbilt, if they go for this, they're going to go out there and try to long count us. I think he was short.
Roddy Brenton Rollins just brought this to my attention. Take the score and remember my predicted score and realize how in reach we are.
What is it? What was his score?
I predicted Georgia would win 69-0.
What did Brent say?
Oh, I don't know. He was just saying
2 touchdowns away.
2 touchdowns, and I'm right there at it. Right on.
We
the
would
money.
never ever hear the end.
I want to hear him see him miss an extra point for you then.
Hey, I still talk about the 2015 Missouri game.
You're right. Got way to confirm it, man.
Yeah.
You got to kick it here, Lee. Did Kirby challenge that, or they just review it? Vanderbilt call a timeout to make sure.
I just said review. It didn't say challenge.
I'm telling you, he doesn't want him to make anything. I like the way he competes. Clark, you got Connecticut next week, though, buddy.
a night game. Georgia's playing Arkansas, potential top 10 matchup, as we said at the moment at noon. And there is Vandy, and I don't know what channel they're playing on. So
they're on the alternate channel, I would think. What a kick.
Wow, nice.
Come on, McConkey. You got something.
He is so fast. No, just commit. Commit to
I think he saw that block kind of being pushed down in front of him. That was a good return.
There's some of the old boys.
Yeah, I'd like to see them try to block Jordan Davis.
I wonder which one of them was a free safety.
I think it's the starting offensive line.
With a ball in their hand?
Yeah, that's the center.
Okay. One of them was Ken the Newt Rockney.
I don't know. The guy was right. That's a mug, man.
Where are he getting all these? His producer worked hard. He knew he was going to have to feel like we were doing. Should have Edwards in there at running back.
Yep, that's it.
You got it. Hit it.
Ka-chung. Oh! He destroyed that man's soul.
Colquitt County.
They grow men down in Colquitt County.
I would just like to see some replays instead of all this about.
I don't give a damn about this stuff. Go back to the game.
Before and after the war.
Jesus Christ. We got these graphics. We're going to use them.
Yeah.
This is stupid.
They haven't been worth a dang.
Couldn't even see how they lined up.
Nice cut.
Yeah. 4 people you need to bring down.
Got Goody in there. All right, Goody.
It's good to see him healthy. He had a really rough
Look at Willock.
career.
Man Mountain. I just want you to get it close. Look at that guy. And then Mims over here, and then Truss. I mean, you're talking about their defensive line. Say, well, I'm glad they're going to be putting a second team in.
And
our second team is really more athletic than our first. They just don't have the experience, but they really are good O-line.
Poor Warren Erickson out there at center looks like a midget. This isn't fair. I'm a grown-ass man. Oof.
Is that Blasky in there now?
Yep, 58.
Yeah. Okay. Don't get too funky here now. They're just going to let the clock run out.
So, yeah, they would let it run down to the end of the third.
Anybody got any questions?
Yep.
I'd
before we jump into questions, I want to mention our friends over at Athens Ford. They've got a financing deal on the 2021 Ford F-150. 0% financing for 72 months.
Are you sure? Yeah. 72 months?
72 months. 6 years. You get 0% financing on a 2021 Ford F-150 for qualified buyers. Don't go in there with a crappy credit score and say, Roddy said I could do this. You got to be a qualified buyer. But you can get a 0% financing for 72 months. Now, if you want a Ford Escape, something a little bit smaller, for zipping around town, you can either get $2,000 off or 1.9% financing for 60 months. So that's a pretty good deal on that. And it's the same with the if you want one of those Mustang EcoBoost, the 2021 Ford, you get $2,000 off or 1.9% financing for 60 months. So, and of course, all their stuff comes with a lifetime powertrain warranty. Can't beat it at all. Same with the 2021 Ford Explorer. Trust me, that's a fantastic vehicle. I've seen it. And, I love it. It's nicer than my Ford Explorer. $2,000 off or 1.9% financing for 60 months. So you're not going to get killed on the financing if you have to finance one of these. And their in-house financing is great. So hit up our friends at Athens Ford. They're on the west side of Athens. They have one of the best pre-owned vehicle inventories. It's tough to find pre-owned vehicles right now. It's tough to find vehicles in general, but they've got almost 400 vehicles on the lot. Swing by. I guarantee they will have one for you to check out.
Good.
Hit us up with some questions there, Dane. I know there's been a ton.
I like the way you presented that. The one thing you're going to get with Athens Ford is they're going to treat you right. They're going to be fair, and they're going to take each customer individually and work out what's best for you, because they really an Athens-based group, a Georgia-based group. they like the Georgia people coming in there, and they're going to do a good job for you. And you know, they're not just out there to wheeler dealer you. They really do a good, genuine job.
They don't show up, pop up behind you when you walk on the lot like, "Hey, how can I help you?" and all creepy like, you know. And
are you here to look for a car?
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's not that
only hanging out at the car lot.
Yeah, because some of these salesmen in other places are just creepy as anything. You know, and they pop up like a vampire behind you, rubbing their fingers together. You're like, no, look, they.
When I used to work at a clothing store at Christmas in Burlington back before you were born, we had this guy that was kind of a country guy, but he was very good. You know, he would take any customer that came in there. You know, you knew some of them were just in there to look around, and the normal question would be that anybody would say to him is, "Hey, I'm just looking," and he said, "Well, I'll tell you right now, I'm selling the lookers too." It worked every time. They said, "Well, what do you got?" And he would go over there and work those people. I said, Bill Gordon was his name. He was one of the best salesmen I've ever seen. I'm selling the lookers.
Lewis Austin asked.
He couldn't measure. He would sell a suit or a coat or something. He couldn't. He'd say, "Hey, Jim, will you come over here and help me measure this guy?" He couldn't even put the pins in the guy's cuffs.
Jeez.
All right, that's Big Max.
I see you, Max Johnson.
Well, if he gets another one here, it must be.
Oh, Cody's finest. There you go, Max. Love it.
I don't know who was covering that. A good job again of showing us the game.
Jesus, he is. SEC now.
I'm gonna give these people a. That's what Edwards on a big third down pickup, I guess. I like these big boys there. Just keep on Berman roading them. Let them hit the gash one time. What's the deal here?
4th down and half a yard.
What are they doing? Are they doing a review here? One of the things I used to do with the quarterbacks that we don't do, and a lot of people anymore, you got so many people communicating to them, but I used to always get the guy on the sideline to take off the headset and I would talk to the quarterback directly instead of talking to him through somebody, and basically ask him how to, talk to him a little bit, like you do when you go over to the sideline and have a telephone, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the series, but it's so critical sometimes with a timeout that you don't want communication to go through somebody else. But that's the way at this point it doesn't matter. But one of the things you always feel like is the quarterback's got a good feel for what's going on. You coach them all the time. You work with them. And this would be a perfect time for a quarterback sneak, but we don't get under center. But we're going to come out of the huddle fast here. There we go. We're under center.
Yeah. I jumped off.
Now, here's the deal.
Yeah.
We were trying to get them to jump. They jumped, but then our right guard moved. Yeah. I don't know if they're going to call it on trust or not.
Yeah. I don't think he came far enough across.
They could really call it what they wanted to.
It's going to make Kirby mad. Good learning situation for your second team. He called it.
Offsides. Wow. I'm a little surprised.
Trust's from Rhode Island. He knows how to do it. He pointed to him.
He adjusted his helmet when he was in the neutral.
Hey, Rhode Island. Good call, Beck. Let's go with it now.
Hard counting them over the line. It works.
Probably going to throw some kind of quick screen out here.
Justin Robinson, Jalen Johnson, two of the receivers in the play.
Not now.
He was waiting to find a gap.
He keeps his feet churning.
Look at Mim, seriously.
Yeah, Mim's just pushing the whole pile.
Get a close-up of these guys. 59, 65, 73, and 77. Of course, Blasky's a good-looking kid. He's small compared to these guys. But this is our fifth running back right here. Milton, we've told everybody, is a little banged up, so he used the first three and set up for the quick toss here. He didn't like that. He's going to check to something else.
1357, 1356, 1355.
Good job there, Beck.
So you got Blasky's redshirt freshman, Willick redshirt freshman, Broderick Jones
Redshirt
redshirt freshman,
Mims true
Men's
freshman.
true freshman. The only upperclassman out there is Truss.
Mims has all the makings of
He's a redshirt sophomore.
of a future first round
Upperclassman.
tackle.
Yeah.
He going to throw it here. Can't stand it.
There.
No, he didn't, Coach. Touchdown, Dejan Edwards.
Hey, Roddy, I think you could have scored there, seriously.
One more
Yeah,
TD.
That was what you call a lookout defense. Just look out and watch him run in the end zone.
And the old lineman heart in me, when you're out, even if this quote unquote garbage time, if you were Truss, if you were Blasky, if you were Broderick Jones, you were Mims, you drove down the field and your running back scored a touchdown. I don't care who it is.
You feel good about it.
You do. And the next week when you go out there, you like, hey, we drove on an SEC team and we scored. I know it's a horrible SEC team, but you did it.
I missed this by 1 point, but my man here could get it. I think we're going to score again. I think we're going to score again.
Oh, God, how do you not? At 13 minutes left. Maybe they're just running. See, this is what I was thinking. When you said 50 burger, I was thinking 60 burger because I'm like 50 was kind of – I was already expecting that. So.
Well, I tell you what, this is going to be good for our getting ready for this next game because they don't play for like an hour and a half. We're going to be on the plane back. I mean, that's a heck of an advantage. Plus, playing a tough physical game like they're getting ready to play compared to us, we should be Frank Sinatra next week, you know? You know what that is? All the way. We'll be there.
Georgia total points 62. Vanderbilt total yards 54.
They got 54?
That's what I see.
And we're going black cherry lemonade here with the Bud Light sauce.
14 passing yards and 40 rushing yards.
Can't say enough about what Leon Farmer and his whole staff do, not just for taking care of buddies, what they need to drink and everything, but just community involvement and back in UGA, just a very good friend to have supporting your program. And very seldom did I ever check with them. They didn't have some kind of plan to help us out, whether it's a weight room or scholarships for for the minor sports, which you don't call them that anymore, the Olympic sports. But I just think people don't have any clue how much they've done for Georgia.
Yeah, they do.
Still got a award named for Leon's father in the weight room.
That's the greatest trophy I've ever seen.
The lifter, and he designed that himself.
Did he?
Yeah.
That trophy is amazing. A lot of trophies are kind of silly, but that is a badass trophy.
It was good. It was good. Those kids take a lot of pride in being the one that selected that,
Yeah. If you get that trophy, you know that you hit all those workouts and you busted your butt.
Yeah.
That is a lot of metal plates moved to win that thing.
I don't know that I could work out in that weight room we got now because I would just be looking around the whole time. You know what I mean? You go in there and look. You got the big screen up there. You got all that music going. And, man.
I want to give a shout-out to Kirby Smart and Josh Brooks for getting that done. The indoor facility, the west end zone, now this new building.
Yeah, just amazing. A guy that I know is now I can't say this because I'll give away who he is, but
be careful now.
A lot of programs trying to get where we are, but they don't realize where we were
Yeah.
5 years ago.
That
I
was-
mean, we were able to do all this, and you say shout out, but also Dr. Moorhead was behind it too.
Oh,
He
absolutely.
wanted to get this program where it needed to be, and he made sure that we had the chance to do it.
So
And
you, Bill Norton?
a lot of guys there. We're going to need a call sheet on here.
Tymone Mitchell, that's 91. The guy that plugged up that A gap on
He's
the
from
right-hand
Tennessee
side.
too, isn't
Yes, he is. And Bill Norton. So that's two guys from the Tennessee area playing there in their home state. Hey, bringing that whole
Sherman
precinct.
there, defensive end, along with Chesney.
Chambliss over there.
Yeah. I think they're going to try to air one out here.
Hey, let him do it. Jamon Dumas Johnson, number 10 there. He has a pick 6 already on the season. Yeah, throw it. Let him jump up and steal it.
Golly, just jumped
Kamari
around.
Lassiter yeah, you're right.
Kamari Lassiter has really, I mean, for a guy that, I'm not saying he was unheralded in recruiting. It wasn't that. But they didn't expect him to play a role in this
That's
team.
got to
He's been
be
really good.
He's a fantastic
seriously,
athlete.
listen to the coaches talk. They just think that it's hard for them to believe that they got a kid out of Tuscaloosa that can play like that. That's got to really chap Nick's ass. You know what? That's really got to bother him. You know what? Hey, how did we lose a guy like that, especially that's going to play? I mean, the guy's a good cover guy.
Yeah.
I mean, somebody better watch this fade route at the top.
Dumas Johnson's about to – Sherman
Got to make
almost
the
had it.
tackle, Sherman.
It's going to be 4th and 2 for the Commodores. at
Go for it,
11:39.
Clark. What, he got 3 first downs?
Yes.
Yes.
How many?
Yes. They have 3. Georgia has 28.
You talking about ass kicking. How about USA beating Europe 9-3?
Ryder Cup. Let's go.
If only I'd worn my Ryder Cup polo today.
I'm wearing mine.
Watch the fake. It's a good time to fake one.
Hey, so maybe they get the special teams return.
62-0 is a
McConkey.
good time to fake.
Watch it. Don't let it hit you.
Oh, wow. That's
Ooh.
he probably saved him about 5 yards, but that's dangerous.
I'm going to give you this good Vanderbilt story because back when Woody Woodenhofer was there, they're pretty decent. Woody was a coach for the at one time was a coach of Missouri and then got fired, and then he came and was an assistant coach, became the head coach at Vanderbilt. And they had some good players, some guys got drafted, and their defense was pretty good. And we were going into the third quarter, and the game was nip and tuck. I mean, it was tight. And I called the offense over there on the sideline and started chewing on them a little bit. I said, "Look, man, we got to bear down. We let these guys stay in the game. We got to get after them." And I don't know what else I was saying. And about that time, Randy McMichael said, "Hey, coach, you don't have to worry about that stupid SO." And he said that B word. It just faked a punt on his 20-yard line, and we got the ball. It was true. And so after the game, I told Woody, I said, "I knew you were a friend of mine, Woody, but I didn't know you're that good a friend to fake a punt on your 20-yard line."
You said that to him?
Yeah, he
Oh,
was
my God.
laughing, but
Okay.
it was one of the dumbest calls ever. But Randy, I'm there trying to get him fired up, and Randy comes back to me. Don't worry about that stupid son of a bitch. Just take the play.
I do radio every Friday 11:20 with Randy and Andy, and he is not afraid to speak his mind. So it does not shock me that he walked over there and said, "Hey, coach, that SOB did this."
I went down there recruiting another kid, and I saw Randy playing basketball, and I asked the coach, I said, "Is this kid? Does he play football?" He said, "Yeah, but he's a little undersized." And I said, "Let me look at some film on him." And I looked at him, and we offered him. And the rest is history. I mean, he's just so athletic and never was that thick, but he just had such good hands and could run. He's a lot like Brock Bowers, very similar.
Absolutely.
Brock's a little bigger, but I think Randy was up there like 12 or 13 years in the pros, wasn't
He
he?
was. One of my favorite photographs of all time is him in that Miami Dolphins uniform diving into the end zone. My buddy Jim
Really?
Gunn took that picture, and it is one of my favorites ever.
Yeah.
Jim Gunn or Damian Strohmeyer, one shot that picture.
Is this the Vandy baseball team?
Maybe golf. Could be baseball. Did their baseball team win it?
Yeah. Yep.
I guess they did.
That was a hell of a baseball team, too. And
Hey,
Georgia
NC
went up there and beat them, took the series from them.
NC State ended up with a COVID out there. That's right. And then they beat Mississippi State. Or Mississippi State won it. Which one won it?
I think that was Vandy baseball won it. Mississippi State, though, won their first title in something, too.
Yeah, I think it's – check it out.
Where's Anthony Dasher when you need him?
They played in the finals, those two, I know.
Maybe
For some reason, I think Mississippi State won.
Okay. Yeah, that's probably
She's
right.
probably giving the conference.
Oh, somebody missed it.
There's something you just not used to right there. O-line, they're going to shift around and move. Don't expect anything except the unexpected here. Why would they line up straight against you?
Well, that's why I was asking when you said we talked about them moving their line. I didn't.
Mississippi State beat Vandy in the title. I wonder if that was SEC ranked.
Come on, man. Hey.
All right, so that's Blasky there at center.
We're trying to figure out what we're going to call here. Be nice to see a 95-yard TD. He's going to run the ball off left tackle, though.
Yeah, that's where they lined up.
Good cut.
This game is – I hope we're keeping your attention here with all these facts about who won the College World Series.
Well, I'll give you some stats while we're at it. Georgia has 517 total yards. Vandy has 62. So Vandy has now tied Georgia's score in total yards. They have 62 yards. Georgia has 62 points. So they're coming back, Coach.
This would be a really good time to throw a bubble screen out here because they don't have it two guys.
You know what? Here's something that really impresses me. Georgia has one penalty.
Is that right?
Only one.
It's a pretty conservative call there. Yeah, it's also 62.
What is it for don't be cruel to animals, don't beat the Commodores too bad?
Here's some good balance for you, Coach. Georgia has 283 passing yards and 238 rushing yards.
And here's our first punt of the game, isn't it? Unless we fake it. Is this our first punt?
I thought they had one previous.
First punt.
Oh, wow.
Let's say you drill it. We kicked the field goal when we didn't kick it that great.
Crosswinds up in Nashville, I guess.
How many points did we score the second half? 22? What was it? 35?
34.
Huh?
24 points in the second half.
17 in the third and then 7 in the fourth.
That's 24.
Well, we're going against the Arkansas Razorbacks. We got to pretty much Burma Road here the next 4 weeks.
That's assuming Vanderbilt doesn't make a 63-point comeback.
We got them and then Kentucky. Is that right? And then Missouri and then open date in Florida. What's their schedule? I don't know. Give us the schedule.
That's a coach, not know the thing. All right, so next week you're correct. It is Arkansas, followed by Auburn.
Oh, we got Auburn.
At Auburn.
At Auburn. Then host Kentucky.
Homecoming.
And then Florida.
Bye week.
Open date.
Yeah, there's
We're
a bye
gonna
week.
beat
between
that
Kentucky and Florida.
open date.
Yeah.
How about Ole Miss having their bye week this week and then
So
getting Bama next week?
Yeah. Old Lane Kiffin doing a lot of talking.
3 of Georgia's next 4 opponents are ranked: Arkansas, Auburn, and Florida. And Kentucky is sitting at 3-0.
I don't think 2 of them are going to give us too much trouble. Florida probably will. Florida's better defensively than they were last year at this point. And their offense is different, but it doesn't have the firepower throwing, but got the running quarterback.
Which is a problem, as you saw with Alabama.
And they got their best quarterback was hurt last week. Alabama couldn't tackle. I'm getting some Nashville updates here. Guy asked me, how's the Ryder Cup? That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Asking for an update up there. How's the Ryder Cup? 9-3. We got a pretty good shot, I think. We got to get 14 and a half, and we got it this afternoon, and then the singles tomorrow.
Some scores around the country. Notre Dame and Wisconsin tied at 10, fourth quarter.
Go Badgers.
You want the Badgers to beat the –
I want everyone to beat Notre Dame.
LSU
Always.
leads Mississippi
Forever.
State 27-10, fourth quarter.
Really?
Missouri trailing by 3, 27-24 to Boston College, fourth quarter. Florida, Tennessee tonight. That game in my childhood was always one of the biggest of the season, and I haven't barely heard people talk about that tonight.
It's because Tennessee's 1-15 against them.
Yeah. That used to be the game of the SEC. I can tell you a story about going and watching, skipping a Georgia ULM game and going to watch the Tennessee-Florida game in Knoxville. There's that same fake again, Coach. Fake the pitch, run it up the middle. Georgia's used 9 receivers in this game and 7 rushers.
Yeah, because you got receiver and a tight end running the ball.
Yep.
And Bennett, right? And then the 4 backs.
Yes, sir.
8:03, 8:02, 8:01. 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Georgia leads 62-0.
You're just dying to get that another touchdown, aren't you?
Of course I am.
We'll never hear the end of it.
No. I originally predicted a shutout, and I changed it up.
Good play on the
Mario
ball.
Lassiter.
You know, that's just a great play. Let him get over there and get that shoulder pads on him.
Yeah.
Send the picture of it to Nick. You know, it's fun to see those kids. I mean, you're beating the heck out of them, but those kids, second team, look at that coverage there by Jackson, too.
Yeah.
I hope they don't
the
put the
one.
ball on the 1 yard line
I
on
think
us.
it's probably going to be at the 1.
That's what I was just about to ask you, though. If you can make an interception on the 1 or you bat the ball down,
They might put Vandergrift in.
99-yard drive by Brock Manning.
If he's on the 20 yard line, I could see us the first play him faking and running a boot, because he does that extremely well. Auburn Tigers.
All right, so
I want everybody to watch when you're watching Brian Harsin on his interviews. Watch me, Roddy. We got a really good team. We're going to play really hard. They got a good team. They're going to play really hard.
he's giving thanks after each sentence.
No, he's
Or not enough.
I don't know what he's doing, but he's not looking at the camera.
Hey, Georgia State did have a pretty big win for its program.
Yeah, that would beat Charlotte, didn't they?
Yeah.
What?
They lost.
Charlotte's a decent team.
I know they are. That's what I'm saying.
Charlotte got a big win last night over the Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders.
Philip Thomas with a question for you, Coach.
All right, Philip.
Don't beat my MTSU boys.
Says, Coach, since y'all were trying to fill some airtime, give us some insight into the 96 overtime win against Auburn.
I tell you, that game right there was we didn't do much the first three quarters, but then we got fire in the fourth and came back and got that last touchdown, and then we got in overtime, and Robert Edwards didn't start the game, and we didn't start playing him to the fourth quarter, and he was pretty fresh, and their team was kind of beaten down physically, and we felt like we had an edge there, so they were good on offense, but we were running the counter in the outside zone, and they just couldn't stop us. We had to take Robert out once and put Robert Kirksey in there, and he scored. But then at the end of the game, they called timeout. They had 4th and 2 or 4th and 1, and I asked Joe Kynes and Mickey Matthews what their tendencies were, and they said more than likely they're going to let the quarterback do a rollout. That's what they do. And I told everybody I said, whoever's on the side of the tight end, everybody go for the quarterback. If they do something else, we'll just give it to them. We had 5 guys tackle the quarterback and won the game. We just played lights out on him. And Damian Craig was the quarterback. He's coaching now at LSU. He was at LSU. He's at A&M now. He's the receiver coach. But
Good recruiter.
Oh,
Georgia's on about the 1-inch line.
See your boy Max Johnson, coach. 4 touchdowns, 280 yards.
False start. Ball can't move back much more. So
Nice.
save your trust. Pat McDaniel with a question. Coach, do you think that Georgia's linebackers are faster than Alabama's?
yeah. I do.
Fire off the balls, guys.
Still Carson Beck in the game at quarterback for Georgia.
Smart move there, sneak it.
Oh, wow.
That's one thing you do on the 9-yard line. If you're on the 1-yard line, you got to get all the way out. Is you tell your team, let's make 1 first down so we can punt. And then after that, if we make a first down, our punt's going to be a lot easier. But if we're punting out of the end zone, it's not good. So first down, you always try to sneak it to get it out where you can run a better play, where you don't get a bad exchange or something like that and fumble in the end zone. So they're gonna sell out on the run here, and 20 in at running back. Who is that?
That's the walk-on.
Golly, you had it. Good snap count by Bennett there. By Beck. Went on a hard count.
Savon
Clark.
Savon Clark. Yeah. I was trying to find him on a roster. He switched numbers from last time.
Where's he from? Is it Swainsboro?
I can't find him on my list. I think you should left. I would love to see the walk-on guys like that get in there, but if I'm within the shadow of my own line, yeah.
He's from Dawsonville, so he's from North Georgia.
If I'm in the shadow of my own line,
We went on a hard count. And everybody on our team jumped
the
off.
whole left side jumped.
We're out thinking ourselves here a little bit.
Scyther, Jones, Truss.
Christian asked, Coach, what's your favorite Elvis song?
I got so many of them, I can't even tell you. Probably gonna have to sing one here. My throat's been bothering me a little bit here. I've been talking so much, but
Well, you won't let us get a word in edgewise.
yeah, that's true. But
I woke up singing "Return to Sender."
you did? I sang that last week.
I think it's part of. It was just in my head.
Golly. Come on, Seether. Is Seether 80?
Yes, sir.
Come on, you just did it twice, man. Todd Hartley going to jump out of the press box. Kirby's going to be jumping some ass when they get to the sideline. I can tell you that. He hadn't had a chance to jump anybody. He's going to get these 2 guys.
It's my fault for mentioning Georgia only had 1 penalty, so
We've had 3 in the last 3 plays.
I apologize, folks.
There he is, right there.
Completely my fault.
Hey, Jermaine, clarify what you're trying to mention about Corey Allen. I'm not understanding in the chat.
He's talking about at the end of the game, Corey Allen called a pass for that they call interference, but he called it for a touchdown. Is that what he was asking?
Potentially. He said Corey Allen was in chat during the UAB game. Are you saying he was watching our stream and chatting with us, though?
Corey's a good kid, good player. Got a touchdown against next year against Tech to seal the game. Tremendous catch. I tell you one thing about Corey, if you throw it to him, he's going to catch it.
Yes.
He was money. Also, not a very good kick.
Yeah.
I I really appreciated Corey Allen coming to my wife's funeral too, among many of the people that were there. You guys, but always nice to see your players. That's a tough situation, but made me feel good to see them.
Yeah, he said that Corey was in the chat on YouTube watching during the UAB games, so he's a fan of our watch along show as well.
He is.
Corey. Class act.
Javoris Johnson, another one. Good fisherman, man. He's got his own NIL on the rod and reels.
Nice.
They provide him with them.
Yeah, I want Dax Langley to get in here next.
There we go. Here's what you're going to watch out for. This number 5 is going to keep the ball here.
I thought he kept it on that one. I was like, nobody. Oh, okay, he doesn't have it.
Kirby, just going in the locker room. Don't worry about anything else here. I don't want you to worry, man. Enjoy the rest of this game until you play Arkansas.
Smile.
No, I mean, he's got to work on Arkansas. He'll be working on Arkansas on the plane home.
Yeah. Well, he's probably working on them this week.
Good job. He's holding.
He is definitely holding. Wow.
Look at that pursuit. That's a good ref there calling, telling the clock to run. The guy was out of bounds.
Yeah.
Good pursuit.
John asked, Coach, how's your golf game? We're at that
My
stage.
golf game is I haven't played since my wife got sick, so that was 4 years ago. I got to get back playing. I'm playing some tennis now, but my handicap was 9 the last time I played, but right now it'd probably be about 30. I was playing pretty good till she got sick.
Oh,
Ooh, don't be targeting.
David Daniel with laying a lick.
I hope you don't jump up and down about how great that was. They made the first down, David.
You know, they kept running that clock because they didn't want to call the penalty on Smile Munden. So they're like, look, we're not going to call the holding, but we'll keep the clock running.
Is that what they did?
I'm just saying that was the trade-off. So I mean, they want to get out of there as badly as everybody else. There's some great food in Nashville, so those guys are trying to make lunch.
Harris English just he's got a 10-foot putt for eagle.
Come on, Harris.
Harris had a big win yesterday with Tony Finau.
Finau's good at Ryder Cup for whatever reason. Glad to see Harris there. He's had a really good year.
Harris is a bad man.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm just really glad that they're not letting the quarterback keep it because we hadn't had anybody on him since the first quarter. We're just reading it pretty good. Let's get all these facts here now. Miss the next 2 plays. I
made the graphic. Y'all are going to have to sit through.
I'm glad Bo Nix is 10-0 versus unranked. What is he versus ranked?
Well, we don't want to talk about that.
I'd say Penn State's 4th in the West and 3rd in the East, wouldn't you?
But you behind Georgia and Florida, yeah. Behind Texas A&M and
LSU.
I'd say maybe 3rd in the West, Coach.
You think they're better than Ole Miss? You think they're better than Mississippi, LSU?
Yep.
Better than Arkansas?
Yep.
Whoa, Texas beating Texas Tech 70-28.
70, is that basketball?
I was confused.
I hope that's true because I wanted them to play Casey Thompson at quarterback. Casey's the son of one of my quarterbacks at OU, Charles Thompson.
Really?
And I actually was trying to help Casey go to Ohio State when Urban Meyer was there, but Urban retired, and so he went to Texas. But Kirby didn't want him anything big enough. Ooh,
nice. My goodness, you had him.
Still got him.
Still did.
Let's put Brock in right here and let him run a couple. Not gonna make the 69 here unless Kirby gonna fall on the ball.
Yeah. Big Warren Brinson. 97.
Let Vandergriff air it out. Do it.
Look at everybody jumping on Warren Brinson. Good job.
They're gonna
Here the thing is, though, I was glad on that 4th and 7 they didn't kick a crappy field goal to try to just beat the shutout.
Here's the thing you do, right? Who's that? Vanderbilt? How far was it?
I think they're on their, 25?
Yeah, that would have been a long one. This is a fall on the ball play.
Yeah.
Best formation in football, sports fans. Victory formation. That is the best formation you'll ever get in. You know that's your favorite high school subject. You know what? Their history. All right, Kirby. Took your team up there and looked good, except for that one goal line situation, which would have made it 69 from a man Dane.
I know.
Hey, give them some love, boy. They came up there and took care of business. Everybody got play. Going to be back home watching the second half of Arkansas.
Yep.
A reminder that wherever you're watching this, in just a few minutes, the UGA Sports post-game overreaction show.
Yeah, we'll be up running about 15, 20 minutes. We'll have Paul Meharry hosting with
He does a great work on it.
Trent Smallwood and Ben Bachman. They will. We have a new format over there. It's what Blaine's been using for years. So check it out. It'll be fun. Then we'll have myself, Anthony Dasher, everybody else.
Oh, you don't need to be on there, Roddy. Give him a chance.
We've been on air for 4 hours. We're going to pop back
I
up
need to
there.
jump on there.
Just kidding.
It's
Just
my
kidding.
spot.
I'm going to stretch after that game.
I don't know if there's much debriefing to do. Georgia dominated. We thought they'd dominate. Next week's not going to be quite as easy against a talented and physical Arkansas team. You'd like to see Georgia get a little healthier at a lot of positions, and it sounds like that there's a chance that we see Darnell Washington and Tyke Smith make their debuts for the season. We'll find out more as the week goes.
9 rushers and 9 receivers in that game. That's just mind-boggling to me. And I get it, you used some of the wide receivers as rushers, and a tight end as a rusher, but that's still, like you said, that's everybody. You didn't see a big injury, nobody carted off. That was the number one thing in this game. I said Georgia would be able to pick their score. They picked 62-0.
It could have been better.
Could have been better.
Could have been better.
I thought that Vandy might get Georgia's been kind of bad in the turnovers. I thought they get a turnover at some point, kick a field goal, kick 2. That's kind of what I was expecting. They did attempt a field goal, but they didn't make it.
They had a field goal. They missed it. But
yeah, that's what I'm saying. They attempted and missed.
I missed about 1 point on the thing for the stakes. Brock Bowers, you need to just go.
SEC Player of the Week right there.
Got to be close.
Great games for Bowers and Ladd McConkey. A guy that I gave a shout out to last week after rewatching the South Carolina game. Warren McClendon's had a really good year. We saw him make some good plays again today.
Got the big boy talking to him.
How much did Broderick Jones play in that game?
Played,
quarters?
He played a lot.
Second, third?
Pretty much the whole second half.
That's good for Jamari, though. Get a break.
Yeah. Like I said, he too will be fresh. A lot of Georgia fans in the background enjoying that. 62-0, just absolute domination, start to finish.
Thanks as always to Bud Light Seltzer and Leon Farmer and his team for sponsoring our Watch Along show. Been day one sponsors since we started doing this, and we cannot thank you enough. So support the people who support us, and that also includes Athens Ford, big UGA sports fans. And you just have a great experience anytime you do anything with Athens Ford, whether it's service, whether it's new cars, used cars, they're the place to go in Athens over on Atlanta Highway.
Their customization department, if you need custom stuff, is top shelf. So people that want to jack up their things or put custom add-ons, step bars and stuff like that, they have a dedicated department for that. So they are phenomenal when it comes to if you want to add on to your vehicle. So.
Shall we say good night, Chris?
What do you think? Seriously, what do you think the line on the Auburn game is going to be? I mean, the Arkansas game.
17.
I don't think it's going to be quite that much.
I'd say 20, at least 20.
I would go something like 13.
home game though.
Yeah, it is home game.
Home
Yeah,
game.
you're about right then. For
I'm
home
like
game.
A lot of it
two touchdowns and a
a
field
lot
goal.
depends on what happens today in that other game. But
True.
okay, Lee, you know what old Clark Lee said to Kirby at halftime, don't you? If you know I can't be found, sitting all alone, all over in the dressing room, trying to get on a phone for some players. Don't be cruel, true heart, that's true. I don't want no other love, baby. It's still you I'm thinking of. Let's 1 or 2 in the preacher, and let's say I do. Then you know I have you, and you know I'll have you. Don't be cruel. That's what old Clark was saying, and Kirby was in the second half. I mean, what he scored 22 points?
24.
24, so.
That's still pretty cruel.
But that's the only song I could figure that Clark would ask for him. But or he could have said about his team, since my team has left me, I've found a new place to dwell. Down at the end of Lonely Street.
SEC standing.
Big Hotel. Well, hell. Okay. That's enough for the idiot here. I'm not going to say anything else. But hey, congratulations to our staff and team for taking care of business. It's the hardest thing in the world to prepare for a team that you watch the tape, you see them, but to go up there and have that good a performance is a great job of doing what you need to do.
As I said, when we started talking about it, I said it in my 3-2-1 that this was probably the worst SEC conference mismatch in talent that I'd covered.
You're right. Georgia, I mean, that's one of the first things you ever said is true all year. So that's good. But
I think this is the worst beatdown in this series.
I don't
think it's ever been this bad.
It could have been worse.
Oh, hush. I'm just saying, historically, I think.
I say this once a year. It's like when Jed Clampett on the Beverly Hillbillies went behind a cement pond and saw a camel, and he thought it was a horse. You know what he said? Pitiful. That's a pitiful looking horse. That's a pitiful looking football team. I mean, they're well coached, but they got no players. I mean,
you gotta have
the best player didn't even play. He got hurt. So let's watch this Arkansas game. I'm picking Texas A&M. I'm picking Buffalo to win tonight. Georgia Tech going to get beat by the Tar Heels.
I need to call my bookie. Hang on a second.
I also want to give a shout out to one of my boys that I trained, Nick Colvin, getting in the Hall of Fame for North Oconee tonight. He's a young dentist now that's going to dental school out in California. I'm going to go over there at ceremony for a little bit. So congratulations to him and Coach Terry Tooley, who did a great job coaching football and golf for so many years. Congratulations to Coach Tooley, too, and the other people I don't know getting in that Hall of Fame. But anytime you get rewarded like that, you know you've done something good.
Yeah. Well, you'd know being in the Hall of Fame yourself. So.
No, I don't. But,
yeah.
hey, let's say goodnight, Gracie.
Good night, Gracie.